everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, the Dark Prince of Nerd Media. Joining us this week, Michael Huber.
Hello.
Brandon Jones.
Hello.
And that's it. Just the three of us.
Yeah, no Ian.
Trios.
Trios. Have we done a three-person? We've done one of these with three people before.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It just Jones, I feel like we're ganging up on Huber.
Oh, yeah, there are some things we need to bring up about Huber. we discussed that beforehand.
Huber, we did not agree on this haircut.
Yeah,
It's
the
too
doors.
wild.
Yeah. The door is closed. The podcast has begun.
I like it. It's good to be back. Good to be back on the podcast.
Welcome back.
Feels nice.
It's very good to have you back.
Kyle, yes.
Jones, if you would, begin correction music, please. So, read a lot of comments. I mean, I gotta be honest, I read the comments before I watched the episode. So I had I knew a lot of things coming in about what I was about to watch and listen to. Many in the comments, a lot of people still using Ring Fit Adventure. And they were offended that Bloodworth would suggest that it just hangs out on a shelf and collects dust.
Wow. I think I said that.
Jones.
Well, I was clearly wrong. It sold really well, and
Yeah.
you don't hear about it a lot.
So the reason it sold really well is also its own cool story, Jones. So there's an aftermarket for Ring Fit Adventure. It is getting heavily imported into
The Dark Souls community.
China.
Okay.
Because
Thought you were right.
this is crazy. This is because of the quarantines, and they can't even leave their houses. People are buying up Ring Fit Adventure
To work out.
while they're quarantined.
Wow.
And the markup is huge in China.
Oh.
And so these people are, and I had to check it out, right? So I went to eBay. Sorry, I didn't go to eBay. I went to Amazon. It's like $160 on Amazon. Hard to get there. Just gone on Best Buy. Best Buy's like, hey, we don't have one of these in 250 miles. Ring Fit Adventure is just gone.
Gosh.
And still only number 9 on the NPDs. Maybe we'll see it again next month. But yeah, isn't that weird?
That is weird.
That's such a cool intersection of world news and video game sales. And by cool, I mean interesting.
It's interesting because it shows you that the game has real value for what they were going for. Exercise, working out.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah. Apparently, okay, so at this moment, as we record this podcast, GDC is still officially on. However, more and more companies and studios have dropped. Microsoft, Epic, Unity, Kojima Productions. I think EA reduced their presence. They all left GDC apparently because the PS5 isn't ready yet, and so it's just the PS5 wasn't far enough along, and so none of them felt comfortable doing GDC. And so, no, of course it is coronavirus becoming more and more serious, a stronger threat. And at this moment, yeah, I feel like cancellations in the cards for GDC altogether.
Yeah.
And corrections music, please.
I say might as well. Just to be safe.
Man, you get one life.
You know?
I don't have much to say.
You might as well.
It's just really not. That's why it's not a news story to lead with, and it was tough talking about it last week because it's do whatever you need to.
Yeah, 100%,
yeah,
man.
Please.
And I've seen people kind of talking about it that I'm sure event planners have all sorts of things to say about it because this is the life, of doing stuff like that.
Can you imagine can you imagine outright canceling an event of that scale?
I can't. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what a lot of those people said is, like Microsoft, like Epic, is that they will still they'll just stream the presentations they would have given. Because they work hard on those, too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And that works into, you don't want to push other events back because you were planning on having things announced or shown, this week.
Yeah, I mean, GDC is educational. It's a bummer. It's a bummer for GDC for people to drop out of that.
Yeah.
It'll be a bummer, too, if they're all like, oh, hey, we don't have to go to GDC. You're like, no, come back to...
Oh, if they just kind of enjoy it this
Again,
year?
it's just it's like the culture now where it's just you know what, we don't have to... Maybe I don't even have to go to the office. We're going to start seeing developer diaries and they're literally just got out of bed. They're like, hey, so it's like, put a shirt on, man. Come on.
That's what Ring Fit Adventure is for, man.
Yeah, exactly.
There was one comment that stuck in my craw.
That we said.
No.
Not from someone, but
a comment in the comment section.
Okay.
Get this. Kyle's Animal Crossing takes are so old. The Smash Directs literally went through their options menu and brightness settings. The whole comment. By the way, your take is old. But But I never want to be known as someone with old takes.
Old
well.
takes, dude.
Sorry.
I do not have old
I mean,
takes.
we're kind of old.
It wasn't my take. It was one sentence that Jones read out of the rundown.
Yeah.
I don't feel like my take was properly represented.
Certainly
Reiterate
not.
your take right now.
Certainly not.
Set the record
Well,
straight,
that's the thing,
Bossman.
Huber. I got a segment called Kyle's Hot Fresh Hot Take Latte,
Okay.
and I don't know if I should do the whole take. Let's see how far we can get. When you get exhausted, when you say too hot, we'll just end the segment.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
I think Animal Crossing's popularity does not match how good that game is. It is disproportionate. And I'm not saying the game isn't great. I'm saying it's much more popular than other games like it are.
Which I haven't really known. Yeah, that's like new information to me, actually.
How much it sold? Yeah, like New Leaf is crazy. So think of The Sims, right?
Yeah.
Sims sells more. It does.
Yeah.
Sims is not more popular. Because I think there's more to popularity than just being selling the most, just being the one who sell the most. What I think about Animal Crossing is it's just one of these invincible IPs. It's bulletproof, platinum bulletproof. Animal Crossing is cool to like. And here's what's interesting about Animal Crossing. Not just that people like Animal Crossing, people want to be seen liking Animal Crossing. And that's what makes it special. So I think of CBS shows, right? CBS shows.
Oh, you know, I'm done. No, I'm out.
Millions of...
Yeah, I'm done. That was it. CBS shows.
CBS.
Okay.
Push the button.
Okay.
You
You had me until CBS shows.
That was the hot take latte.
okay?
Spicy.
We should do that. Because the thing is, Jones, that was like the first 20% of my rants. Like, we should do that more. We should.
Patreon reward. To see the rest of Kyle's rant,
Yes.
go to patreon.com/easyallies.
Let's play Tough Bouncers. This is, of course, the game where we all know Easy Allies has the most popular club in Los Angeles exclusively for video game characters. Very hot club. There's just a problem in that it's almost too popular. There's almost too many people who want to get in, and week by week, we are forced to say no to one and one to yes to
Yeah,
another.
we foresaw this. We knew this was coming. I don't sweat these. I'll be
Part
honest.
of the business. Yeah.
It is
so
what it is.
we have submissions here from Jordan Brown and Adam. Our first submission. Prompto, Ignis, and Gladiolus.
Yep.
They refuse to go in unless all of them are allowed in.
And
Oh, man.
I honestly don't even need to hear whoever it is next.
Next up is Princess Garnet from
Yep.
Final Fantasy IX.
The boys.
She can revive.
Every time the boys.
She can cast revive, and you seem to be generating slightly more dead bodies than the average nightclub. I just think that she could help us out a little bit with some problems we've been having.
But the boys bring such a good vibe to this place, man. They're going to be just partying. Everyone, the entire mood of our club is going to be better with the boys around.
All three boys?
Yeah.
They're going to, I think, here's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're going to get clicky. Like, Gladiolus by himself, instant in. We all want Gladiolus in the club.
Yeah.
But Prompto?
Dude, love Prompto.
Ignis?
Yeah.
Ignis is stuck up.
Dude, Ignis will probably have some tips on, like, something we can
Catering.
do.
They're gonna you know they're gonna leave at some point, and you know that point will be when Ignis gets tired.
No, it's when Noctis rolls up and brings
Says,
a
let's go to another club.
brings a fresh wave of people to our club. It's when Noctis shows up.
That's why I'm with Hubert, because I just imagine turning them away looks so bad.
Yeah, dude.
Seeing those three gentlemen turning away from our club, they're just so custom built for clubs.
I see what
you know
you're
what
saying.
I mean? They are
Yeah.
just
To get Gladiolus, we need the other two guys.
like I picture one of
get
our
it.
bouncers not knowing them that well, just being like, nice club outfits, and they're like, oh no, these are our uniforms. Oh really? Oh
We are part of the Royal Guard.
no, sure, sorry.
Okay. So it is Prompto, Ignis, Gladiolus
Yes.
all getting in together, and the body count rises.
Yeah.
Dude, Brad is pumped.
The DJ's asking the manager, like, what should I play tonight? And he like looks down the dance floor, like, disco, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe some AC/DC. Boy, there's a lot of ways we could go here.
I'm sure the music is a mess. Let's do some news. It's not quite a game announcement. Oh, we have a segment for this. When's next gen? Just one. We have a segment for this. When's next gen?
Generation next, generation next. Generation next, generation next.
So very low key. A post appeared on the Xbox blog, the official Xbox website, news.xbox.com.
Yeah, dude.
On a Monday.
Yeah.
Phil Spencer writes a nice long post for us detailing specs and
Yeah.
features
Yes.
of the Xbox Series X.
So nice.
Yes.
So friendly.
Is so friendly. Yeah, there's like even like grammatical errors in there. You're like, I believe he typed this in.
Yeah.
I believe he actually wrote this. And so there's a lot of interesting things here, but one interesting thing is this image of the Xbox Series X and bullet points next to it. The whole post, the whole long thing has one image. And so I think that these 5 bullet points are interesting in that, at least at this point, these are the features that Microsoft believes to be the most important about the Series X. So I'm gonna read these to you.
Which is like kind of more important than the features themselves, than how good any one feature would be. If you like are curious what is really driving this thing, the specific specs. I think like what they choose to highlight, what they choose to put up, like in a PowerPoint.
Yeah, I find this fascinating.
What's been bolded.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because it's
can't
weird.
wait to talk about one of
It
them.
hops all over the place.
Yeah.
Number 1, the most important detail about the Xbox Series X. What is it?
Ray tracing.
Close. Teraflops,
Teraflops.
baby.
Sure.
12 teraflops.
Teraflops.
12 teraflops is a bullet point alone.
I know.
I believe that number is
mouthful.
going to be our next-gen comparison number.
Nice.
It doesn't carry as much meaning at this point. Once you get to this number, I guess like a bigger number is still better, but the gap between 11 and 12 is not the gap between 1 and 2.
Do you prefer 12 teraflops or to X times as more powerful as Xbox One? Which do you prefer?
I actually prefer 12 teraflops.
Okay.
Because it's so weird. I mean, maybe we'll read that paragraph, but it's like the GPU is twice as powerful as the Xbox One X and 8 times more powerful than
it's-
Xbox One. It's like Xbox One X sounds pretty good right now, actually, when you do that. Number 2, bullet point. Variable rate shading. Have any of you heard of that before?
Never.
No.
I mean, maybe I should read what that is.
Yeah.
Maybe we should educate ourselves. Maybe this is important.
Variable rate
Get this.
shading.
VRS. Our patented form of VRS empowers developers to more efficiently utilize the full power of the Xbox Series X. Rather than spending GPU cycles uniformly to every single pixel on the screen,
I hate that.
they could prioritize individual effects on specific game characters or more important environmental objects. This technique results in more stable frame rates and higher resolution with no impact on final image quality. I bet this is a GDC talk.
Yeah.
This is the talk we're missing.
Totally.
This is just let me
Totally.
explain variable. This is what's happening there.
It sounds like it's good.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. The closest thing that I imagine is like how video compression works, where if 2 pixels are the same twice, it lets it stay the last pixel instead of refreshing that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm imagining. Let me know in the comments if that is completely incorrect.
Well, it's interesting because you can already tell the difference between these two categories. Where like one is, here's something that is going to affect every single game that you play on this system, no matter what, no matter if the game is bad or good, or from this gen or from an old gen or exclusive or multi-platform or also on PC. Whereas this new shader thing, some people can totally ignore.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it really takes. It's like, okay, so Halo Infinite's gonna do this. That's maybe why Senwa's Saga looked as good as it did when we first saw footage, but maybe not everyone's gonna. Ori 3 is gonna do this, but maybe not. Maybe not everybody. But something that again those different audiences can appreciate. They're more focused on those things.
It's so weird to make that the second bullet point.
You just got to start. These are both visual though.
Yeah.
Or both performance focused.
Well, number 3 is 2.
Well, just for me, as someone who doesn't know exactly like the nitty gritty of obviously game development, to me, the entire thing, that bullet point just to me reads like, oh, they can make games better now.
Sure.
It's as simple as that for me because I don't know all the nitty gritty details, but it's just like, hey, we have the power to do this now. So we're not going to sacrifice it's just making games easier and better. And it's like, I want to hear those things as you try to convince me to buy into next gen. Like, what exactly are, we don't have the bullet point of like HD TVs.
Yeah.
Like what are the selling points? Like, give me those Give me those.
Huber, what I like about that point is that he does emphasize in that last sentence, he brings it around to frame rates. All of these things will benefit your frame rate at the end of the day. And I think that's that, Huber. You're right. That's like, how does this benefit me exactly? And they give you the answer right there.
Yeah.
So that is appreciated. Number 3 for you, Huber, is hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing.
Yes.
There are many kinds of ray tracing.
Yes.
This is DirectX ray tracing.
Yes.
Never before seen on consoles. It's like, hey man, Marcus Cerny he's got one too. He's like, all right, okay. Yeah, that is I think ray tracing, it's hot.
It is. It's just better looking stuff. Again, I'm not an expert on anything like game development, but just when I hear these things, it's like, okay, so you're telling me like reflective surfaces will look more realistic. Like when I look at aluminum or ceramic or plastic or glass, like
Aluminium.
ray tracing is going to make it look better. Awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's all you can say. Hey, cool. To me, that's the smallest thing. I guess a lot of environmental artists will say that's like, man,
it's
if I could
huge.
just get this right, everything will look way more realistic.
Sure.
But it just to
Yes.
me it sounds like okay. But apparently ray tracing also has to deal with audio, even in this case that I mentioned.
Yeah, I'm really way more brand manager as far as like my focus on how they handle this information rather than like, yes. It's like this is going to make parts of some games I play look better.
Yeah.
So like, hell yeah, I'm excited about that. And boy, I'm probably gonna on some show we do bring up like, oh man, I was playing. You know what the moment was when I got to this one part and I looked in and then saw all that happening behind me because it was reflected so beautifully. But like right now, right before these consoles come out, I'm waiting for other stuff.
Yeah, because like HDR was this generation's ray tracing, I feel like, and it never fully got there. Because
It never did.
Because I remember I had that moment when I was playing Call of Duty World War II. You go into this room, you're undercover, it's really dark, there's a fireplace, guy smoking a cigar. I was like, oh, HDR, like this is kind of like, I want this to get better and better. And I never really felt any leaps with HDR after that. So I wonder if now going
wasn't a
into
bullet
next
point.
gen,
Yeah.
HDR will be better or more refined.
That's the thing, it will be better, but it's not a bullet point.
Yeah, because it's old news now.
Yeah.
It's standard or...
And it didn't really click.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of developers even phoned in their HDR in some
Yeah.
ways, and it's like, oh, really? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think ray
honestly, not worth the
tracing is
effort.
like the 60 FPS of like one gen ago, where it was like doing it. It's just going to be a thing that we are going to focus on. That is just like that's the minimum benchmark. We're there. We met it.
Sure.
Across the board.
Jones, we're moving off of graphics with our 4th bullet point. We're moving off of console performance, really.
Suspending games, dude. Features.
That's our 4th one. It's our 4th bullet point. You can suspend multiple video games.
I want to do this even though I don't want to do it. They're making me want to do it.
Yeah.
This is not a
Same.
feature I would ever use, but for
Yeah.
some reason when I read it, I was imagining what games could I suspend?
How many tabs you keep open on your computer,
Yeah.
I keep so many tabs open.
Keep all my games minimized.
I will never
It's
delete a game
like-
again. I'm just going to keep it in that same state.
Man, just watching kids playing games like we change channels,
I
on
know. Just like bloop, bloop.
Yeah.
or even just like shows or movies like on Netflix or Hulu or something that I'm just right in the middle of a scene, like, yeah, and just bail, go watch something else, start something else. Probably makes the creators of that just insane. Like, please just watch the thing like I intended. And now with Dreams, especially with like streaming, later on, not now, not even like when this gen kicks off, but just like down the road when that's like so much faster, so much more accessible.
Yeah.
Just this idea of like, all right,
Because I'm
that 20 minutes of Last of Us Part 3 was fun. You're like,
Yeah.
because
On to the next
you
one.
stopped there? Okay,
Yeah.
right.
like, actually though, I'm in a moment right now where I'm playing multiple live games. So it's like if you just have Fortnite on the loading screen,
Sure.
Call of Duty on the loading screen, and Monster Hunter Iceborne all there on the loading screen set. Quick drop. Boom.
No, they're still going to make you
Quick to-
load. They're still going to make you
Like,
load.
I want to know how fast that is.
Yeah, because the online services will still make you reconnect. So
That's
I bet
right,
Fortnite
that's
would
right.
still chunk.
Okay.
You
It
know,
would like
I
kick
bet-
you out. You
Yeah,
have to load back in.
yeah.
Got
Yeah,
it.
but it's like it's
Okay.
like a secretary for really important business people, who are just like, get me someone while I'm waiting. So I'm on the phone, and the next person I'm gonna talk to is on the line. You have like Apex Legends does that, where they're like, we'll make the call for you. So we know you're playing Fortnite, it's fine, But like the moment you boop out of that match, you can come straight to us, and we'll have that
I
map
would
ready
love
for you.
if they were willing to waste server space for that, for the people who might hop in. Go for it.
It's like community colleges that are like #1 in transfers. You know, we're the #1 game you're playing when you're not playing Fortnite.
Your second choice. Also, I was a day later. I think it was maybe just later this week. It was also explained that you can fully shut down your Xbox Series X, power it back on, and your save state is still there.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Last bullet
Features.
point, number 5.
I forget this one.
Smart delivery.
That's right. Okay.
What is smart delivery?
Like
I've never heard this phrase before.
Just like it had something to do with downloading the games depending on your TV as well. Like it'll optimize and patch your game in relation to your setup. Am I wrong?
You're very close.
Okay.
It's just for your console.
Just for which console you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. See, because it's getting confusing now with Xbox.
That's the thing.
No offense.
I don't like this branding.
It's getting a little confusing.
I don't like this phrase. It already didn't work on Huber because smart delivery sounds like more like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This smart delivery is when you buy a game and you play it on Xbox, you can play its best version on whatever console you own. When you play it on Xbox
buy the
One,
game once.
yes,
basically.
you buy a game once, and that is smart delivery. I want to give credit to Ebo Show, who in Love and Respect pointed out that this already exists. Like it was just called cross-buy for the PlayStation.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like that works for me. Cross-buy works.
Cross-buy.
Yes.
Totally.
But smart
good.
delivery was a repeated phrase this week.
Is cross-buy trademarked or something?
Maybe.
Does someone have that?
Yeah.
I gotta remember.
Cross-play isn't right.
I gotta remember when we have a new initiative at Easy Allies to just add the word "smart" to like whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah. This is our 3 new smart shows. Like, oh, cool.
You are now a smart patron. What is exciting about that though is it has been something we've been wondering about, and it was at the dawn of this current generation where they had that weird upgrade program for Battlefront. You did have to buy The Last of Us twice, and it did we didn't know if exactly that would repeat, even though Microsoft had kind of been hinting that this was the plan all along. It's finally here in plain words. If you buy a game for Xbox One, you will get the Xbox Series X version for it as well at no extra cost.
And I don't see Sony doing this.
Yeah, why?
Because I see Sony making such a huge deal out of, Last of Us Part 2 coming, Spider-Man coming, just like all these huge current gen things.
PS5 version.
That's like, this isn't going to be something that we're treating this with a little more prestige by making you pay $60 more. It's like, no, we're treating it with the gravitas it deserves. This game is now, you can now play this on your PlayStation 5, gosh darn it. Don't you realize how big of a deal that is? And Microsoft's like, you should have that all the time.
Here's the thing, Jones.
You should give us only $1 or $10 and get access to everything that's exciting to play on the system. And Sony's like, that's a neat idea, but we don't need to do that. So we're not going to.
I don't think they're going to have a choice, Jones. Here's why.
Oh.
So Xbox says all of our games will have smart delivery, and we're going to leave it up to developers and publishers if they want to do smart delivery later that day.
Gosh.
At Cyberpunk Game writes a tweet.
Uh-oh.
Gamers should never be forced to purchase the same game twice or pay for upgrades. Owners of #Cyberpunk 2077 for Xbox One will receive the Xbox Series X upgrade for free when available. Jones, 136.8K likes on that bad
Oh, that's
boy.
one game.
Really interesting language.
CDPR is going to make maybe 2 games next gen?
Yeah.
Really interesting language, dude. Upgrade. Read that back to me.
Okay.
Upgrade.
Gamers should never be forced to purchase the same game twice or pay for upgrades. Owners of Cyberpunk 2077 for Xbox will receive the Xbox Series X upgrade for free.
But in the Switch version of Witcher 3, you can pay for a downgrade. So it's like they're very specific of, you can't.
Yikes!
Oh, that's good.
Hey, they just patched the Switch version, actually. A little better.
I haven't played it. I'm not
Little
going to
better.
say anything else incredible that game is on that system.
But fair, Jones. You're like, hey, what about those other times you made me buy it twice? You're right. That's so fair.
And again, it's just one company. Like I could just see Naughty Dog, Insomniac. I could see these companies being way okay with Sony. Like, thank you, making a huge deal out of like a booth for like a re-released PS5 game at I was gonna say PSX, but that doesn't exist anymore.
Jones, are you trying to tell me that the Cyberpunk on PlayStation 4, I won't get a free upgrade for it for PlayStation 5?
They might insist. You might get developers that insist.
That's what I mean. They won't have a
and
choice.
then it's good optics for Sony to allow that, and it makes you think they're doing that across the board.
You'd still have to buy each version though on a different console. So like, Witcher was on Switch. You still have to buy the Switch version.
Sure.
No. Gamers should never have to buy a game twice. This is what I hate it. I hate it when gamers is used when people could have easily been replaced.
When you read it, I imagined gamers was spelled with a Z.
Yeah.
Gamers' parents, however.
That's the thing. You know what, though? If that very same tweet was written with the word people, it started with people should never have to, it wouldn't have 136,000 likes. There's a bunch of people out there who are just so rah-rah about just like gaming today, and they had to click like on that.
Who have gamers should never have to, like on a Google alert.
Yes.
Smart delivery.
Smart delivery, though.
I'm still a little confused. It
about-
just seems like you're just getting the...
It's so very Microsoft, though.
You're just able to play the best version on any console.
Yeah.
It's just cross-buy.
It's cross-buy.
It's just cross-buy.
But it's going to be so important whenever they announce the next thing that's not the quote-unquote Xbox Series X, whether that's a less powerful console or a more... The moment they name something else, it's like the number one question people are going to have. They're like, wait. What's coming out exclusively for that? Can I play the game that I'm halfway through right now on that? And they just answer that question always. Like,
Yeah.
You never have to ask us that. Let's just get that taken care of right now.
That's
As
a
a bullet
benefit.
point.
Yeah. And I guess, yeah, it's just nice that you can buy it now, and years later, when you do upgrade your console,
You know what
that
it's doing,
version's
Kyle?
waiting for
It's
you.
doing PC things with the ease of a console. That's what it feels like.
You're right.
You know,
I just-
updating your games, patching it, downloading drivers, all that. Smart delivery.
Yeah. Smart delivery. Steam's been doing it for years. Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool just having all that information drop. I guess we could talk more about, the GPU that they have, their processor, things like that. But just generally to me, I think it was kind of an interesting post, interesting to drop it on a Monday.
Confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence from Microsoft right now. Like, boot on PlayStation's throat.
Easy.
In my mind right now.
No.
So much information. We've
No.
seen games. We've seen all these announcements. Like, they're ready. They're in killer instinct mode.
Sure.
And Sony is just taking their time. That's why I feel like the
Yes.
boot is on the throat. They're in all guns blazing, not messing around, and Sony, it seems like they're floundering in this moment.
I kind of
That's
think,
all.
Hubert, I think the boot is on the throat, but I think Sony is staring up, just like,
Fine.
Is that all you got?
okay. I
You know
like
what I mean?
it. I
It's
like
just
it.
that kind of anime moment.
like
it's
this.
just like, yeah, I'm breathing fine. Yeah. I kind of think it's
Notice
that
I'm
way.
breathing normally. I have noticed that.
Nani?
So right.
Because here's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about we're waiting for the blowout events. Still, easy allies. We're waiting for those big events on stage.
Kyle Bossman, Michael Huber, and Brandon Jones
Yes.
are all three of us waiting.
The Xbox blowout now is strictly games. That's kind of the blowout is much less, right? They're running out of
Yeah.
things to blow out to reveal.
For me personally, same thing with Sony. Same with both those companies. I'm just like,
Yeah, I think that's fair, Jones.
and Nintendo too. There's still a couple. Still waiting to see Metroid. We're still waiting to really figure out what the timeline's going to be for Zelda, and just kind of like, okay, we know these things are kind of things.
Yeah.
Star Fox Racing game, maybe. You never know. Like there's still some stuff kind of hanging in the air with all these companies.
So this is going to sound idiotic.
Okay.
I'm willing for you to just say this sounds idiotic.
I love it.
But I think there's an emotional appeal to waiting to show your console. I think the
waiting
actual-
for everything. Yeah.
Well, the look of a console is actually exciting to have that finally revealed. And I think showing it at Game Awards before we even anticipated seeing the console was maybe too soon.
Yeah.
Like, you've lost that card in a weird way.
Maybe they were going again because there's so much confidence right now. What if it was all part of the plan? Like, here it is.
Yeah.
No big deal.
That was
no
the-
big drama, dude. Here's our Xbox.
And
Let's
that's why,
go.
That's why I feel idiotic. I feel like this is very transparent. I feel like this is very upfront.
Yeah.
And E3 should be about the games.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be this pageantry of here's what the box looks like because that doesn't in the end ever matter.
yeah. Only
yeah.
initially,
Yeah.
the look of it. Yeah, but yeah.
I got to
you're
admit,
so
those
right,
5
Kyle.
points don't really kind of blend together into like an idea of what the console is. They're just 5 clear, like there's obviously 5 more things than that are exciting.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to pick those 5 specifically.
To me, yeah, the suspend multiple points of games is kind of like, oh, nice.
Yeah.
Not like next gen.
yeah.
It's just kind of nice.
And I'm not surprised we're there.
Yeah.
Again, which is why I'm just focused on the games, because even Sony is going to come at me with all sorts of features. And it's like, I'm buying it. Just get to the, there's no question, at least for me. But that's just like one consumer voice. And
But if
a lot of people that have to consider whether they want to spend 400, 500, 600.
if this isn't a random announcement on a Monday in February, though, what are they keeping? They've got some cards they're keeping close to the chest, right?
Games at this point. What else would it, I mean, you
Like
think features?
hardware-wise, yeah.
Do you think there's more features coming?
I think so.
Okay.
I think they're saving one last silver bullet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so. And I think they're saving that till Sony announces something.
Yeah.
Then you come back.
You need some back and forth.
Because they
here.
keep,
Yeah.
these were kind of, maybe they were like, hey, we got the momentum. Let's throw some more features out there. Mm-hmm. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I love theorizing.
But
with
it's
you.
definitely appealing to just drag it on and on. Like WB Montreal is like sniffing that glue hard right now. Because, they just wake up.
Theirs
They
is
just
the worst, though.
Do we have a counter?
But
Is
they
there
don't
a
know. They don't
streak
feel
going?
it. Like they wake up every morning and just get like a warm, hot cup of no one knows what the hell we're doing, and they just smell it. I enjoy that so much. Like they're gonna be sad when they announce it. They're all gonna go home that night and just that's gonna be a bad day actually in the company because they're gonna be like, oh, it's not the same.
If I'm on the
Only
marketing
we really
team,
knew.
I'm so nervous it's going to leak. I'm like, why hasn't this leaked yet? If I'm on that marketing team, I'm panicking every day. I'm not having a
Sure.
nice cup of coffee if nobody knows. I'm like, they still don't know.
Jones is gonna spite leak it.
Yeah.
Like we gotta know.
What does spike leak mean?
Spite.
yeah.
leak.
Spite leak. Gotcha.
Like leak it out of spite.
Yeah, I'll leak it out of spite. You had enough time. You're pulling our chains for too long.
Spiteleak.com.
Jonesy. Oh, the way we got there though is you brought up an example of a bad way to draw something out.
Yeah.
So you do feel like the sprinkling, and so as opposed to a big reveal event, is effective in this console's marketing?
Just the waiting for other information, the waiting, because there is going to be just like a mental rush between whenever we find out those things and whenever we find out what they are, when we find out how much they are, and when they actually go on sale. It's all waiting until then. When the moment we get all the details and we see it, then we're just like, okay. Now we're just gonna, I guess talk about which one's more powerful or like which launch library is better. But until those systems are plugged in to our televisions, and we're actually playing those games, we gotta spin our wheels. As a moderator for podcasts, you know what that feels like. Just like,
I would have loved to see variable rate shading as a video. I would have loved for this concept to be introduced to a total tech scrub like myself with a demonstrative video. And those are the kind of things that you do see at these events, at the big blowouts.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things Cerny goes nuts for and tries to communicate these simple things,
Yeah.
complicated things as simple. By the way, spite leak joint. That's what I was like.
There it
There's
is.
something here.
also, I
joint.
much prefer seeing Microsoft and Sony kind of play their cards low and, here's a Wired article, here's a tweet, and just like, like little cool things as opposed to like way overboard of just like some huge event. Like, ladies and gentlemen,
I think that's not
this
cool
weird
anymore.
celebrity, and you're just like, whoa, we haven't learned anything. What are they doing? You know? So
I do. I think that's
if
not
I had
cool
the
anymore.
choice, a little too much, a little too little, I would take too little every time. Because then if we're like, oh, maybe the next gen won't be as exciting right out of the gate. Of course, it's going to be amazing like for like 2 or 3 years, but right out of the gate, maybe it's not as exciting as we're all led to believe. I'm glad they're not pretending it's the other, But I'm sure by the end of the year when the TV spots are rolling, it's just like, did we tell you that? Has anyone reminded you today that Microsoft sucks? You're like, no, I'll buy both. I'm sure they're gonna be great.
That's the ad you think we're
Halo
going for?
Infinite or whatever. Well, when they just, they realize like, what's the day when? Oh, it's November 1st. We got to start getting nasty today. That's when all the nasty spots start.
No, please no.
No, they're not nasty. They're artful.
Yeah. It's like Microsoft logo, and you have a woman like in at the store. I was gonna say Toys R Us, not anymore. And she's looking at the PlayStation 5, and it's just like, what are you doing? Don't let this be you.
Yeah, just like Master Chief slaps it out of her hands.
Yeah, we're all the Nintendo marketing is still just super cheerful and fun. They'll win.
It was funny that the ad that did debut the physical form of the Series X and the title of it. It starts with there is some Halo, but then there's like some fields and some soccer being played and a car driving.
It reminded
around.
me, it was Interstellar, right? It was like, could you imagine a future? It was that, right?
Yeah.
It gave me like Interstellar, Christopher Nolan vibes.
No, it was a recording of that philosophist who I think also did Everything. The game Everything.
Sure. Sorry.
There's no fixed
Swing and a
rule
miss.
about it. That guy. Okay, all right.
But I could even see like the best is when they've also been very reserved with their branding, because when you get the branding out there, then you can counter brand, and so you can have, it's called the Xbox Series X. So you have the PlayStation ad that's like shows Kratos and Uncharted and all those things, and they're like the best series of any console, and you're like, you see what they said, series, like game series, but then the consumer's thinking series, and so they see the word and then they start
Devious.
Do you think there's somebody? Do
that's
you think there's-
celebratory, but it's the poison,
Yeah, Jones. I feel like Shuhei
Can't wait.
Yoshida is in his office right now doing work. A lot of work.
Oh, sure, yeah.
A Sony executive opens his door, stands there in the doorway, and says, "Hey, can you make one of those funny videos again? Do you remember when you did that? Can you just do one of that? Can you do one of those for us this year?"
I got my phone ready. Who can we get?
Yeah. Just make it funny. Yeah, you're right, Jones. I bet they are looking, right? They're ready to like attack each other's features and things. It's a mess, but it's so rare when two directly comparable products were released in the same month. It gets intense.
Oh, yeah. Exciting.
We have two more of Platinum's 4. Two more announcements from the Platinum 4.
Yeah.
The first, of course, was the Wonderful 101 Kickstarter. Second, not fully featured as that first announcement. We do have a game announcement, but it's a project. Project
Therefore, not starting the podcast.
GG. Yeah, exactly, Jones. That's why I was like, man, maybe nah. So Project GG is the Platinum number 2, and Project GG. Did you all watch this trailer?
Nope.
No.
Oh my!
I'm way behind on these announcements.
This is a good trailer, actually, Jones. It's a teaser, and it's serious in its tone. It gives me the vibe of almost like Cloverfield.
Nice.
The game is kaiju. It's giant Ultraman style, like a guy just grows really huge.
Yeah,
and the transformation as he goes up, you just see a silhouette, but you see cool things.
Dude.
Man, really, really cool. But it's so tense. Kaiju, you're normally like,
Yo, is this going to be the best kaiju game ever made? Am I going to like slam a kaiju's head into a building?
yes.
Dude.
Yes.
Dude.
Also, not a lot of great kaiju games, so
No.
like, this is easily, I'm going to say this right now. the
Dude.
best. Yes.
Dude.
It is directed by Hideki Kamiya.
Yes.
He's
of course. I
directing
knew
this
that.
one.
I knew that.
They said it's the third in his superhero trilogy. So they're saying Beautiful Joe, Wonderful 101. This is a spiritual trilogy, basically. But so much, the tone is so different from those other two games. Really cool trailer to watch. However, very little details about this actual video game, when it will be released, how far along it is in development. I think it is most likely just begun. Because
Years away.
And we'll talk about Platinum number 3. They outright said that we're working on these things because of the infusion from Tencent. So when Tencent gave them that money, hold on, there's a particular phrase I should use from them.
Infusion of funds, dude.
Capital Alliance.
Capital Alliance.
Yes, I think it's an important phrase.
Gosh.
That both of these are possible because of a capital alliance.
That's the next phase 4.
Spin.
Yes.
When we have a new phase
Wow.
4, gotta remember to
Capital
call it the
Alliance.
Capital Alliance.
Capital.
Help me remember that one.
You are the Capital Alliance with us. Yeah, so
That is some. Whoever came up with that term, raise something. Promotion.
some pencil pushers.
Yeah.
So why I bring that up is I do think this is early, but I think this is a dream project. Kamiya was talking about how he wants to own his own IP, how he's just making games for other studios, and that this will be a self-published Platinum game.
What a moment.
Yes. Big moment. They'll own this forever. And so, yeah, I think it's very early, but I think they're excited to announce this kind of thing. The next phase of Platinum. And we got another one. Platinum number 3. Not a game announcement. A studio announcement. Platinum is setting up a studio in Tokyo. And that's kind of it. That's kind of all we know. Again, you get that 10-cent money. They're like, okay,
Expanding.
let's open a new studio. Yeah.
Is Kamiya going to be working out of that new studio?
I don't believe so. This studio, I think, will be working on. It will be new IP. There's going to be 100 people there, but yeah, I think Osaka is where their studio is now. I think Kamiya is staying there.
Do they just like brand these games so quickly, or the ad runs for these games so brief? Even like their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and Transformer stuff.
Yeah.
Is that masking how long these developments actually were, or like this seems like a company that throws stuff
multiple
out pretty
teams,
quick,
multiple projects.
Yeah.
that have very reasonable development times, or I don't know necessarily what that means on the workload of the actual developers.
I think that's fair in
But-
some instances, Jones.
They seem like they're like someone who's juggling a lot, like one of those delis you go in and you look in the cook in the back and you're like, that guy is going to town back there.
Yeah,
Just
platinum.
order up eggs, sausage, like
Yeah, you think of like Nier Automata, that came together pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah.
But I am thinking as well about Bayonetta 3, which I don't even think we're going to see this year.
I don't
still.
know. Yeah, it seems like it's far away now. Huh?
And Kamiya's,
But that has more clout. That has more name recognition. I think anything they've ever done.
So
I
that
think
would take
they get the Red Dead Redemption 2 thing where it's just like, no, we're taking them. This is
Yeah.
all we're doing right now.
And
really.
vengeance.
I kind of get the impression Kamiya's like, hey, you guys handle the Bayonetta 3. I'm pursuing my dream right now. I'm going to go work on GG.
Cool.
Yeah. Go nuts, right?
Exciting, yes.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Smart.
The fourth announcement, we don't know still what that is at the time of recording. We do know that it will be very platinum. Their quotes.
To be honest, they don't do much that's not platinum.
Yeah. Every game is
I don't think it's
platinum.
a game. I don't think it's a game.
I think we spend way more time talking about how platinum something is than how something is not platinum.
Totally, Jones.
Surprisingly, not platinum.
That's not very platinum. I suspect that it's maybe an animated series or a movie. Yeah, I like.
Ooh, a near anime would be
Pretty sweet.
that would
Yeah.
trend.
Ooh.
That would trend on Twitter.
It could be some at this point when a new studio was the third announcement. It could be just like a live experience, is number 4. So my expectations have
concert.
gone down for sure. Yeah, honestly, it could just be a concert.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, well, waiting on that number 4. You'll hear about it on this podcast.
Cool.
Because I think branding these announcements was actually very smart.
Yeah, something that I would love to shout him out by name, and I only just started following him, but one of their social managers at Riot had this really great thread on Twitter where he's like, not to like toot our own horn too much, but I'm really proud of my team and what we just did and how we announced all those things, and pointed out how they could have gone wrong, the card game, the fighting game, the shooter, and pointed out how they knew, like, really focused on any potential negative thing that their community might think and how to combat that. And so they kind of just threw all these announcements rather than like spanning them out through the year, because you kind of forget these things.
Yeah.
But that's, again, it's why like GDC, E3, PAX, Gamescom, like you remember like when a lot of announcements happen at the same time, your brain just kind of records it all a little bit more intensely, and you start to remember, yeah, didn't that get announced when that other thing got announced? Wasn't that delayed when that other thing got delayed? Or wasn't it, we just know Doom and Animal Crossing are happening at the same time. So you start to associate these things.
Yeah.
So being like, it's 4 things. And we're like, okay, they didn't say games. So, and it's smart that like the first one was kind of the most exciting, but then the third one's like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
But I wasn't, okay. Mm-hmm.
That's good branding it's on your announcements. I love that.
Yeah.
It did harken back to the Capcom 5, and which Damiani said, and like made me really excited because those were 5 sweet games that they made exclusively for the GameCube. Not the
Resident Evil.
Did you all hear that?
He just said Resident Evil. Yeah.
No, I hear something else, Jones.
What? Oh, right. Oh.
It sounds like it's podcast halftime.
You threw me with Resident Evil, man. I was just like, oh, sorry. Look around you. It's a wireless world, and everyone needs a great pair of wireless earbuds. But before you go dropping hundreds of dollars on a pair, you need to check out the wireless earbuds from Raycon. You already know Raycon earbuds start at about half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market, and that they sound just as amazing as other top audio brands you know. And Raycon's latest model, E25, is their best one yet, with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design that gives you a nice, noise-isolating fit. Raycon's wireless earbuds are so comfortable, perfect for the on-the-go listening and for taking phone calls. And I don't know if you were on with Raycon before, but I gotta make the confession, Raycon dethroned Galaxy of Heroes on the Sophie walk. Every now and then I play Galaxy of Heroes when I'm walking Sophie. But now it's all about Spotify with the earbuds, man.
Nice.
Well, good
It's
that you're
so-
not walking and staring down at your phone. I'm happy for this.
Yeah, it's not a lot of walking. Sophie will stop and sniff something for 20 minutes, man. And it's just like, yeah, I'll get a bunch of matches in there.
Stare around and enjoy your life for 1 second, Jones. Always.
Stare at the sun. Stare at
Who's nose
nature.
your phone? I'm happy.
I'm staring
This
and
is good.
enjoying life and
Yes.
blocking all potential audio interference out from my brain.
Great.
And only getting the good tunes on there. Would you like to know the latest playlist? Radiohead I was listening to last time. You know who's making a big comeback right now?
Okay, no, hold on. Let's guess.
Very different from Radiohead. And I don't care what face you're going to make. I will accept no sassiness about this particular musical artist.
Offspring.
This guy rules.
Oh, this guy.
One guy. Rules. Absolutely rules.
Dozy.
Kenny
I'll give
G.
you a clue.
Kenny G.
I'll give you a clue. Muppets.
Muppets is the
Randy
clue.
Newman.
Yep. This man has made an album with the Muppets.
I don't
Willie
know.
Nelson?
Nope. Although he has played with the Muppets. John Denver, baby.
John Denver.
John Denver.
John Denver
Nice.
rules.
Yeah,
Heck
John
yeah.
Denver's
You
a
know
10.
what?
Super
No,
high voice.
No hate for John Denver here.
Nice, we did it.
Yeah,
we did it, everybody.
put
We
that on
snaked
your
it past
Raycons.
Kyle. Unlike some of your other wireless options, Raycon earbuds are both stylish and discreet with no dangling wires or stems, which is why I never did that before because I hate the dangling wires. If you heard me talk about how the company was co-founded by Ray J and celebrities like Snoop Dogg, who is good friends with Daniel Bloodworth, are obsessed with Raycons, pick up a pair and see what the hype is all about. Now it's the time to get the latest and greatest from Raycon. Get 15% off of your order at buyraycon.com/allies. That's buyraycon.com/allies for 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. Buy Raycon, RAYCON.com/allies. AMC Network's Shudder is a premium streaming video service, super serving members with the best selection in genre entertainment covering horror, thrillers, and the supernatural. Shudder's expanding library of film, TV series, and originals is available on most streaming devices in the US, Canada, the UK, Ireland, and Germany. Their new exclusive series, The Deadlands, is now streaming and features a slain Maori warrior, Wakanuku Rao, who's sent back to the world of the living to redeem his sins. But the world Waka returns to is ravaged by a breach between that of the living and the dead, as the spirits of the newly deceased now stalk the land and hunt its inhabitants. Follow Waka and his companion Meihei as they close the rift and restore balance. The series presents elements of action, adventure, and the supernatural, and was produced with a special focus on the heritage of the indigenous Maori tribe of New Zealand. Catch new episodes they're streaming every Thursday. You can stream great thrillers, horror, and supernatural now for $5.99 a month or $56.99 a year. Shudder has the largest, fastest growing human-curated selection of thrilling and dangerous entertainment. Dangerous, Hubert. You'll have unlimited access to stream ad-free on all your favorite devices, including iPhone, iPad, Apple TV, Xbox One, Amazon Fire TV, Google Chromecast, Roku, and Android devices. Dude, you know what's cool about their library? First thing that jumped out when I was like, yes. Oh my goodness, I have I have very little time this week to watch this stuff. Escape from New York, which you wouldn't actually think.
So hype.
You know, John Carpenter classic. Obviously, John Carpenter, you think horror, but I was like, cool, Escape from New York. Again, when they're focusing on thrillers. So if you heard Shudder before and you just think horror. But of course, my first rated R film I ever saw in my entire life is on there.
One Cut of the Dead. On
Child's
Shudder.
Play.
Please watch it, everyone. One Cut of the Dead.
One Cut of the Dead.
One
Yes.
Cut of the Dead. Brandon Jones, you will love this movie. I promise you. This is a Brandon Jones joint. One Cut of the Dead. Excellent movie. Zombie comedy.
Thank you. I wanted a little something.
Zombie comedy. That's
It's
all I'm
funny
gonna
that
give
you mentioned that. Get started streaming the best horror,
Japanese.
thriller, and supernatural content. Shudder's expertly curated collection includes titles like the acclaimed Tigers Are Not Afraid, One Cut of the Dead, Revenge, and the acclaimed Creepshow TV series produced by Greg Nicotero, and the all-new series The Deadlands, which is already premiered. To try Shudder free for 30 days, go to shudder.com and use the promo code ALLIES. To try Shudder 3 for 30 days, go to shudder.com and use promo code ALLIES. You and I have expressed our love of horror so much. Huber and horror. I love horror a little bit more, I gotta be honest. Between the two, if I could be on a deserted island with horror or Huber,
Yeah,
I'd probably
you
pick horror
choose
at the end of the day.
You got to.
It's so good.
Yeah.
You would choose a genre of movies over another human being on your island?
Yeah, we do
Jones is
that.
unhinged today.
I'll do that.
Look at his phone
They
when he's
both
outside.
wash up on the shore.
Good grief.
I think I'm gonna take
Jones.
Exorcist 3, you say?
Maniac.
Wow.
The Thing, huh? Yeah. Huber's.
Help me.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Like
2 hours, I'll be right back.
I just thought of Jones like 20 years from now, just like hooked up to a skin suit in like Ready Player One. When
Oh,
they're
yeah.
all like strapped in, just like.
Oh yeah, we read that in my book club. We read a bunch of like sci-fi and supernatural
Jones
books.
is
a lot
like,
of the stuff
strap me
thrillers.
in, baby.
And the whole book club was like, God, can you imagine that? He's just alone in his apartment. He's hanging from the ceiling, and I was like, that sounds amazing. Maybe that's just me.
It's not just you. It's
not
definitely not just you.
It's not just you.
Oh, and if you're a patron of Easy Allies, thank you.
This headline, I think popped up at the end of last week. I don't think it got a ton of traction. This kind of thing is super interesting to me. I love this stuff. This is, of course, another Jason Schreier hit. Love it. Thank you, Mr. Schreier.
Hits.
Sources.
Like a single, It's like he dropped a new one.
Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah.
I want music videos to accompany these stories from Schreier. I want it just him, like, just reading them off, while it's him in slow motion, like by a pool.
I'm in now. The headline on Kotaku, sources, EA canceled a Star Wars Battlefront spin-off last year.
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
And this is really interesting because I think it was, I don't know, like 3 or 4 podcasts ago, not too long ago, Jones, we were looking at EA's financial reports. And I'd asked the panel, hey, what do you think they're going to do this fall? We got new consoles coming out. What is EA going to do? Because Battlefront's off this year. And I was like, Star Wars game. And I found this Kotaku article that said they were working on a Star Wars game for that fall. That very game is donezo. So here's the opening paragraph. Last spring, Electronic Arts canceled a planned spin-off for its popular Star Wars Battlefront series, the third Star Wars game that the publisher has axed since 2017.
Yeah, sure.
3 years, 3 canceled Star Wars
Wow.
games. This latest game, codenamed Viking, was
Hadn't
originally
heard the code name. Damn it.
It
What?
was originally envisioned for release in
What?
fall 2020 alongside the next generation of consoles, but once it became clear to EA's executives that the timeline was unrealistic, Viking was no more. Had nothing to do
went to
with
Valhalla.
yeah. Well, what is it like? You have to die in honor to go to Valhalla.
Yeah, shit.
Viking did not die an honorable death.
No. Oh no, Kyle.
I know.
No.
Viking could have been so sweet.
All right, here's a spin. Let's spin it.
Okay, please.
This got folded into Battlefront 2, which has now gone on to live a second life.
I can tell you it did not.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I can tell you
Damn
it
it.
did not get spun into anything.
No, I mean just those resources.
So
know
Criterion,
what I mean?
Criterion was working on this.
Okay.
It was weird. It was EA Vancouver, I think, was the developer, but then maybe Montreal. Sorry. Anyway,
Stop it.
yo, you just hear the word Montreal, you think Batman. Just it's like that triggered. Oh, so they got Criterion to help out, and I guess basically this project took so long because of that intercontinental communication. And right now, Criterion, I didn't even pick it up on the podcast, they're working on Need for Speed again. Full circle. They're all the way back around.
Yes.
Criterion,
Yeah.
Need for Speed.
Oh,
We're
interesting.
not going to make Star Wars. We're not going to do anything other than just that very specific thing that we're very good at. Which was funny because it sounded like when they were working on Viking, they wanted to be very story heavy. They had a ton of ideas for how the story driven this game would be. Wasn't happening, wasn't coming together. Very nice little tidbit at the end of this. Today, EA has 2 new Star Wars games in development.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yep, a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order at Respawn, and a smaller, more unusual project at EA Motive in Montreal, Canada. Smaller, more unusual project.
Mobile, VR.
So here's the thing. EA's
They've got
license
both already.
is for consoles.
Okay.
The exclusivity they have is for console type games. So this is still a console experience, but it's a smaller, unusual one. I'm terribly excited about that. Jones, that lights me up.
Terribly excited.
Yes.
I don't know, man. That could
Let's
be
see,
like
okay.
a co-op Unravel, but
Yeah, let's-
like Star
Stop
Wars.
it. Wait,
You know
hold
what I
on.
mean?
Stop. No.
Unravel 2, but Star Wars.
No, we're not doing that.
It could be 100 things. It could be a billion things.
Okay, it was EA Vancouver, just for the record, working on Viking.
Let me see if I can muster some excitement for that. Can't do it. We just got off you saying that another thing we didn't even know about got canceled.
Yeah.
This is gonna take a lot.
Well,
for me.
I'm glad they're making something smaller. That's a good first step. Is hey, you clearly can't finish on these games.
Yeah,
Close. You
it
can't
is.
close.
It is extremely hard to be hyped and excited and optimistic given their very recent track record with the property.
And we did get Vader VR, which was fun, but again, it didn't come up during Goaties. None of you guys ever chatted about it.
Yeah.
It's me that's got to bring the Vader news. Vader Immortal. Didn't finish it, but it was fun. It's just, yeah. I'm not when it comes to speculation and stuff. That's the kind of game where it's just like, yes, if that game becomes available and is right there, I'll go check it out. But it's like I'm not going to keep up to date on notes of what's happening.
Yeah, I guess there's like a ton of potential, I think, for a cute little Star Wars game.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah, like
Even something like Yoda Stories is like kind
Exactly.
of silly and charming in its own way. So yeah.
I like the idea of this thing that it's just not. I'm saving the world. I have a lightsaber. You know,
Hear me out, dude.
Okay,
Jedi power battles. Bring it back.
that's not small. What are you doing?
That could be so small if you do the exact same thing, a smaller beat 'em up style. You go through like
Okay.
8 stages or whatever. You do it in the vein of a beat 'em up with lightsabers.
You said the right word.
yeah.
You said the right word there because when I think about that game, I think about like hopping on
Platform,
mushrooms
yeah,
and
yeah,
dying.
yeah.
Make it a
Less
beat 'em
that,
up,
more beat 'em up.
dude. Yes, just
Yeah.
like just doing combos. And shit. Yes.
Unlocking Jedis and Sith and all these characters, cool boss fights.
I want it
like-
to take place in a time where there's a lot of Jedi and a lot of Sith.
Yeah.
Because I just want to be having tons of battles.
In the background, there's like battles going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, sign me up.
do you
So
know
what you two are doing right now is exhausting for me.
I get it. I get it.
You know what I mean?
I know. I'm sorry.
I could do this all day. You know,
I know,
Like,
I know.
yes, I've had so many games. Remake Knights of the Old Republic. You know, like there's so many things potentially that they could do.
Yeah.
Even just using the engine for the Battlefront to tell like like some small, crazy, interesting story.
That's what Viking was going to be.
Well, that's what they, attempted to do in Battlefront 2. And like
Yeah.
they hit, there was stuff that worked there. It's just, I just can't get too worked up about
understand.
Star Wars. I don't know why, but I'm scared to see what lessons they learn from, or what lessons they think they learned from Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
I'm nervous that they're going to be like, see, this game succeeded because of this weird reason. And the devs are like, wait, no, it worked because the story was good. It worked because the characters were interesting. It worked because combat was, stop. And they just go, we see some really bad direction that they take it because they got confused.
Hopefully they just let them,
but then they,
make it respawn.
Oh yeah, they
Hopefully
will.
they're just like, all right, respawn, go
Battlefront's
ahead.
very exciting right now. Clone Wars just started. It's still kind of okay.
Yep.
It's fun to be in Star Wars right now.
And I do think
Mandalorian, like, all right.
also a very interesting part of that article is that as of now, EA has no big next gen launch game.
Need for Speed.
No. It won't be done in time. They have this pocket. The Star Wars game was going to fill the pocket, and the article just straight up says like
No game.
They're not
Need
gonna
for Speed
do it.
will not be in time.
Right.
November.
Yep.
Need for Speed. No.
We just had a Need for Speed last year.
Yeah.
What's
Crank
EA
them out.
Crank 'em out.
Crank those out, man.
What's EA Play
Need
going
for
to be like this
Speed?
year? Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, so they will have their.
Loved the last Need for Speed. That's why I say that.
You
really,
loved it?
I really loved it.
On the podcast last week,
Yeah.
Bloodworth was trashing on it.
Dude, I know.
For no reason. It was unprovoked.
I've talked with Blood about it.
Yeah.
I really liked the new one.
It was in the NPDs, and it was like, haha.
But when I say I really liked it, we're still swimming in sevens.
Yeah.
But because of kind of where the franchise has been and stuff, it's like I really liked it.
How long?
How long's the game?
How long to beat?
Oh, it was like 15 or so.
Okay.
It has kind of some of that annoying stuff where you kind of have to grind to get your rep up to.
yeah.
Yeah, there's like a post game, end game that I didn't do, admittedly. It's like, all right, you want to be the king of the streets, like credits roll, and it's like, well, you got to get your rep up, and it's like, you got to get your rep up and do all these raids. Like, no
interest.
credits roll, I'm
Yep.
good.
Thank you. I'm leaving Miami behind. I mean, so there will be sports games. There will be the Madden on the next gen consoles. There'll be the FIFA on the next gen consoles. But yeah, it's so weird that EA will not have a big fall release.
And I feel like those will be cross-gen, so I like.
Oh, yeah, for
so
sure.
like EA this year is not really going to be in the full power of the next gen.
I got a question before we move on. So I'm thinking about Apex Legends. Will that be interesting on next gen? Will that be exciting that there's a next gen version of it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yes, all day to all of these games.
I think I can say yes to the first question and no to the second. Like there's not going to be anything exclusively going on, but
Right.
like that will be a thing. When you see Apex Legends on Twitch and click on it, those people will be playing on those consoles, and it'll be a big game on those consoles.
Legit one word for all of the games we're playing currently right now, like Monster Hunter and Fortnite and all that, the next gen versions, patches. Downloading patches is a nightmare for Fortnite, Call of Duty. Like, just not only to download it, but to install it and copy it onto the hard drive. It has to reinstall the entire game a lot of the time on PS4. It can take hours.
Yeah.
You know, when you come home from work, you like go to play with your buds and you gotta download it and all that. It's like,
So we got these SSDs now.
exactly. Next gen, you get all the Fortnite where it's just like, all right, patch, boom. It's awesome. It's exciting.
Pause them all at the same time.
I think it's really interesting. This generation will be unique in that, hey, does my Fortnite progress carry over? Is a serious question.
Yeah,
Right.
your account.
With 360 to Xbox One, PS3 to PS4, maybe Call of Duty was the only game that was really popular enough for you to ask that question. Oh, will my progress in Ghosts carry over if I get this? And it doesn't, right? Yeah, but these are free to play, very popular games. I think have risen over the course of this console life cycle, and that's like a serious thing. I think.
Very, very. Very excited.
People are going to be playing Fortnite day one on their new consoles.
I am going to be there.
Day one?
Yeah.
Day one, you got this
Why
whole
not?
new rig,
Well,
dude, and you're like, I got to play Fortnite on this.
Get a drop in, for that's the best thing about Fortnite, man. Just one drop.
You're right.
It takes 10, 15 minutes. Like last night I had the problem where it was like, it was kind of early. Do I go to bed or do I play a game, Jones? And it's like, well, the only things I'm playing right now, man, some intense shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Right.
I'm going to bed. So I just went to bed.
No Fortnite?
Didn't even play Fortnite. It
What time was it? What is kind of early?
was like 11:30. It's pretty early.
Yeah, you know what? It's not, and most of our listeners are like, "Man, I'm lucky if I get to stay up till 11:30."
I know.
But I kind of hear you. That's such a weird time. It's like
Yeah.
I'm not ready yet.
I'm not ready to start some
Yeah.
big commitment, you know?
Here's the problem, though. You bring up a really good point, and I really want to jump into this conversation at an equal level. All I'm thinking about is new Star Wars games. That's all. They see now. Once you plant,
tell us that.
once you
Tell
us,
plant
Jones,
that
tell
seed-
us.
Listeners want to
Tell
know.
us,
Let's-
yes.
What was the broken game that it was like Broken Island or something? It was the adventure game from Tim and crew of. Come on,
The Adventures of Monkey Island.
No, it was their new one.
Broken Age.
Broken Age.
Broken
There
Age.
it is. That they crowdfunded. You have an adventure game like that. That because that was like the two characters that were worlds apart, but they were somehow tied together. You have the adventure game like that takes place like 8 years ago, and you follow Kylo and Rey as they were younger, and what they were doing at that point in your life. So Rey is scavenging. She's got to accept that her parents are gone, so she's got to go scavenge and make a life for herself. And is meeting all these new characters, and then you see Kylo being trained by Snoke and all this. There's those comics are rad. They actually had a lot of really cool stuff.
Wait, how
There's
old
so little
is
Snoke
Kylo?
in those movies.
How old is he when he's getting trained by Snoke?
I think he was late
teenager.
teens, early 20s. It's
Gotcha.
kind of like when Batman became Batman, around that time.
Gotcha.
And you just see they never interact, but maybe they kind of do, in their dreams, and then they forget it when they wake up. But it's just you show that bond between the two of them and just how that affected the earlier part of their lives. It's like,
What else you got? Was that the one you
small
were
game.
thinking of?
Well, because I'm thinking that Twisted Metal game called Domination or something that was on PS2
Demolition.
was Demolition that was on PS2 was really fun. There's the kart racer that was on PS2, Super Bombad Racing, but all these involve multiple characters and really taking advantage of how many characters Galaxy of Heroes.
Yep.
And that doesn't say small to me. Small sounds like a
Like a
Don't Nod game.
A kart racer
small
would be
sounds
small.
like
yeah.
and I just think they're going to be so focused on story. I think they're
Or
going
a
to be
mobile
like,
game.
the story, that's where we went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When Battlefront 2 campaign, we were getting back to it, but then we did the whole thing in Jedi Fallen Order, and look what it did. We're all swimming in it now. So let's do this dumb story. And then, no, stop. So
I'm tempted to believe it's going to have a cartoonish art style, and it's going to be fun. That is what I believe this game will be.
funny, yeah. it'll be
No, fun.
FUN, fun factor.
This game is going to be fun. Dude.
What's the
Order's
Game
fun.
Pro fun factor of this game coming out?
5.
5.0.
That kid's screaming. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope.
It's time for love and respect.
Love and respect.
I realized I had him pretty far away myself this week.
I wasn't sure where to hold him.
real
When I
close.
did the
Yeah, real close. This is the
that
sweet
first
spot.
time, I was like, oop,
Yeah.
he's gonna be kissing that mic.
I'm not a Dragon Ball guy. Not one bit. But Dragon Ball Z Kakarot looks awesome, and I want to play it. Have you ever been intrigued, enticed, or otherwise enamored with a licensed game despite not having any affinity for the license itself? Don't say Tom Clancy. We all know that doesn't count. To the younger members of the panel, did you know about James Bond before you played GoldenEye 007 for the first time?
Oh, hell yes.
It's an interesting question, though. I'm also thinking about that sweet Heroes Reborn game Kyle played on stream that one time. Highly recommend it. It's a game, the show Heroes.
Yeah,
It's a game
dude.
based in that universe.
Nice.
You streamed that?
Yeah.
Dude, I always wanted to play that.
And here's the thing, it is sick.
Dude, you have like really cool abilities, right?
You have great abilities.
Yes. Dude, I'm so glad you played that. That's awesome.
You have time abilities, you got push and pull, force pulls. Oh, love and respect Zach Wojnar.
Kyle, I feel like you and I talked about it when it was coming out back in the day. And we just never played it. Or I never played it.
Oh, you're talking, I think we did consider it back at Game
I
Trailers,
feel like
actually.
we did. I remember talking to you about that
Yeah.
game, dude. Oh, that's awesome.
Which is why we can't let Terminator slip through our fingers.
I know.
Actually, Terminator for me, don't really love the franchise, especially where it is now.
Hey, man,
you can
Dark
love
Fate.
you can love Terminator 2, but it's weird to love the franchise at this point.
But you're familiar with it.
yeah.
I think it's the non-familiarity. I've never seen an episode or any of these films.
I guess that's
but
fair.
hey, I think that's like Super Nintendo era. I would play anything, if I did, it was just like
And movies you couldn't see.
because there was just some I was like, I had the wool over my eyes that I was like, they must have put a little more work into this one, because it's this. It's Last Action Hero, and like I probably, hadn't seen that movie
Definitely
yet.
played Friday the 13th on NES.
Oh,
Awful
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Just dreadful game. But, played it without seeing that movie.
I love licensed games, dude. I'm
do
trying
too.
to think of something that I.
So I got a couple.
A
examples.
couple? What are you talking about?
You're right. I have
This is your-
so many. You're
This
right.
is like your business card.
Aragon. Aragon,
Yes.
that's the one.
I'll never watch that movie.
Aragon.
Never.
Yes.
But that game's awesome.
That's what I just because licensed movies have so much figured out, Jones. Sorry, games. Licensed games have so much figured out, and that's what I really like. They got their world straightened out.
Yeah.
They know these characters. They have history. They know, which locations are where, and that's what I love about video games. And sometimes it gets sloppy or lazy, in games that are just making it up as they go. I just love that. So I'll love like Bakugan. We'll never watch an episode of Bakugan. I'm not buying those toys, but I just love that they got their world figured out. These characters have pre-existing relationships, and that makes me happy.
Nice.
Like Space Chimps. You know what? Space Chimp's not a good game. G-Force, great game.
Yeah, no, I immediately thought of G-Force.
G-Force.
Yes.
And you still have never seen that movie to date?
I'm never gonna watch that movie. Never.
It's great.
Yeah.
It'd be fun like watching the movie and not liking the movie. Not only just not liking it because it's not a great movie, but not liking like how it portrayed those characters. Just like, I feel the scene really gets to the the raw, center of that character.
Sam Rockwell is one of the guinea pigs
In G-Force?
in G-Force. One of my favorite actors.
Holy crap.
Still won't watch it.
I can't think of a franchise that I wasn't at least interested in.
I played through an Adventure Time game. I really liked that.
Ever since the Super Nintendo. The NES and the SNES, like you said, were classic for that. Because sometimes I would play games, especially on the NES, that like I wasn't allowed to watch. Like I could play like some horror game or something, and like that's not going to raise a flag because it just looks so silly.
I think 007 is an interesting one to bring up, though, because I think as we grew up, maybe this is a boy thing. We all were aware of James Bond, but you have the all Bonds cheat. And like you're just becoming really familiar with this entire franchise, which
Yeah.
I really like. So yeah, I didn't know Jaws. I didn't know the guy who throws his hat.
I totally knew Jaws. I didn't know about the Golden Gun. I'd never
Sure,
seen The Man
cool.
with the Golden Gun. I remember like watching that after the fact and being like, hey, like especially because they focused on the gun so much. That he's putting it together, and I'm like, hey.
I was really lucky to have
seen that.
a neighbor that my brother and I dubbed Blockbuster. Just this married couple. And they lived across the street, and they let us come over and just browse their collection at will. Like a lot of my R-rated heavy hitters are because of these neighbors.
It's a blockbuster.
Yes. So they had all the Bond movies, and we used to just like borrow them and watch them all. And
So you were ready to hit the ground running when
oh
GoldenEye
yeah,
came out.
oh yeah, love James Bond growing up.
Awesome. That's really
love
cool.
it.
It's interesting. I certainly was more familiar with it. It's silly to think of it as a franchise I was like unfamiliar with, but like certainly when I was in high school and going into the PS1 era, I definitely played way more Marvel games than I read Marvel comic books or watched Marvel shows or watched Marvel
Definitely.
films. Had way more of an investment in the X-Men through video games and Spider-Man through video games for sure more than anything.
What are you playing, like
I was
Maximum Carnage?
I was just destroying Maximum Carnage on the Super
Nice.
Nintendo and like not reading
of the
one
greats.
Spider-Man comic. I had friends that were like would tell me about stuff, and I would like at their house I would look at them and be like, cool. But I didn't like own a Spider-Man comic to read. Whereas I'm reading Killing Joke. I'm all in on DC. But Marvel was very much like, oh yeah, that badass 5-player arcade game. Like, yeah, X-Men Legends, cool. And like my friend who I'm playing X-Men Legends with is this. Okay, so here's Silver Surfer. He met them. Yes, and then
I got a couple of friends like that. I love that.
Yeah.
When I'm playing games, they'll explain the heroes to me.
Yeah.
The Maximum Carnage made me think of something.
Okay.
Growing up, I thought I was too cool. I was so young. I was like 8 probably. Was way too cool for Power Rangers. Love that Power Rangers game.
Yeah.
Was
Which
too
one?
cool for the property, the Super Nintendo one.
Is that the one
The beat 'em up.
where you do get to be a Megazord at some point?
I don't know if I ever beat it, but my buddy had it, and I was addicted to that game. Love that game.
That's Huber. I had the same feeling. In fact, I remember when there's a department store called Ames.
Yeah.
Every time we'd go to Ames, which was frequently, so like, hey, we got to pick some. It's like Walmart. Imagine just a Walmart of a different era. I'd just go to the toy aisle,
Yeah.
and there was Power Rangers Creep, and Power Rangers usurped the Ninja Turtles in the toy section.
No.
Yes. And I was like, so I was bitter against it.
Yeah.
Also feeling too
Rival.
old. Yeah, not getting it and just kind of like hating on it a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yep.
But secretly like so interested.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this is actually really cool. No, it's like, dude, Power Rangers is cool, but like,
Yeah, because I remember the ad. I remember the magazine ad for that. Or maybe it was a comic book ad even. Yeah, for that game. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. Hey, allies. Ooh, we're going to be good at this. Huber, I know this is against your creed.
okay.
We got to assassinate your creed
I
today.
knew it.
We got a game. Here we
Killing
go.
our babies or what?
Not really killing your babies.
Okay.
We're going to prioritize. It's a
Okay.
game, but we're helping someone.
Neat.
Yeah. My backlog has got out of control.
Oh, God.
I mean, well, yeah.
Oh, God.
So I thought you guys could
Welcome
help
to the
me
club.
trim the fat.
Okay.
I've listed 10 games in my backlog that I
I am-
haven't gotten around to, and you guys get to tell me trim it or win it.
This is I am in a spicy mood. Let's go. Let's make some cuts.
Okay, so this is from Jordan. Thanks.
Let's make
from
some
Jordan.
cuts.
Okay.
I'm ready right now, Jones.
I'm totally ready.
We have
Let's
10
do it.
games. 10
Okay.
games. Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh. I might go back on it.
There's
but
such a. This is like what are the cliff? What is not the editors know when I reading footnotes. This
Okay.
is such a huge footnote.
reading.
Huge footnote of how invested are you in this franchise? Are you excited for the future of this franchise? Do you love the past and present? Like so many things, depending on your investment. If you love that franchise, it's one that you cannot skip.
Win it.
But it's 100 hours long.
You win it too?
Yeah, win it. That's a really good game.
Wow. Control.
Win it.
That's a win it.
Sorry.
The Sinking City.
No, you're done.
Trim it.
It's fine.
I think you gotta trim it.
You're fine.
Oh,
You're
I
fine.
started that and I trimmed it.
You trimmed it?
I trimmed that.
You don't trim games.
I got like 3 hours in. I said, you know what? Let's trim it.
Wow.
Yeah, trim
It's,
it.
it's downloaded on my Switch. I haven't touched it.
Just trim it.
Sorry.
You can do better than that. No offense, Singing City. You're cool, but
it's my
there's-
genre. It's my jam. I just don't have a lot of time. Played Pokemon instead.
Final Fantasy XIV, Stormblood, and Shadowbringers.
Trim it.
I hate to say trim it because everyone
I hate
that
to as well.
commits says it's like the greatest Final Fantasy story of all time. But if you pick that one, then you have to trim all the 9 others.
Yes.
The other thing
that's
comes
the
with
rule.
a- it comes with a
if you
circumstance, yeah.
if you win it, you have to trim all 9.
The other thing too is I think if you have to ask, don't.
Ooh.
You know, I think a lot of the people who are playing, like, there's no question, or they had a friend that recommended it, so they're going in being like, yay. There was like another footnote, if he had like a little line beneath that, he was like, Final Fantasy 14. For clarity, my friends play it a lot and have always asked me to play it. But if he's just like, that game looks interesting, like, no, you're good.
Yeah.
If you need to make the hard cuts, not because it's bad.
Yeah.
But if it's time to make the hard cuts,
Yep.
Control is waiting for you.
Yeah. And some DLCs come in eventually.
Yeah.
This one's tricky. Number 5, Prey.
Oh. I'm on the fence. I'll go.
Sam, I'm on the
I'll go trim
fence.
just because I'm on the fence and we still have a lot of games to go through.
Yeah,
so.
you hit some real winners. Prey is a
haven't
very
played it.
particular game.
I
It's
hate-
so interesting, but I haven't
particular.
played
That's why I want to win it though, because there's not enough immersive sims. It's such an underserved genre still. Mm-hmm. It's hard to trim it. But I was lukewarm on Prey. I thought it was good.
It's getting trimmed.
But all right.
Number 6, Chrono Cross. Chrono
Wow.
Cross.
I need a little more. Yeah, if he plays Chrono Trigger and is like, it's always been something. I wonder if that's been on his backlog for like his whole life.
Yeah.
He's like, I've always had it on there.
Win it.
Oh.
Get in there.
That's a kind dude.
Yeah, that's a deep cut. That
Kind of
seems
exciting
like a
as a
personal
curveball, though.
pick, though. That seems
Yeah.
like, this Final Fantasy 12 style where it's like, I love this game, but I've never beat it. Damn it! When am I gonna beat it?
One of my excuses, like with Mass Effect, is always that they might remaster it someday, but that's not gonna.
Yeah.
That's probably not gonna happen.
Okay.
If you've got a version lined up to play, how do you get to Chrono Cross? You gotta
Wonder if that's on PS.
break out your
Store.
PS3 and get a disc.
PS1.
I think it is on the PS3 store.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's where I would get it.
PS1. Yeah, classic.
Dragon Ball Fighters.
You can play that on the
yeah.
side.
Why not win that? Yeah. How much of that are you gonna play?
That's the thing is I don't think you give it the time unless you want to get good. Because you're not playing it for the single player. The single player is just stupid.
If you treat it as a live service game where you're just a couple quick fights here and there, then I'd say. But if you're playing to commit, then I would say
We've dropped some pretty big RPGs on this guy, so yeah,
I just
no problem trimming it. But
it's not a play a couple of quick matches kind of game because you get just
it
trashed.
is hardcore. Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's
know-
hardcore. You're right. Ugh,
I
trim
think
it.
we got to trim it. Blood Omen 2.
Is this Legacy of Kain?
oh,
Blood
is that-
Omen 2?
Is it totally legacy? Well,
Is
we already
this-
gave him Chrono Cross, so if we're going retro,
It is. Blood
Yeah.
Omen 2, Legacy of Kain.
This seems like another damn it, I need to finish this series
Yeah.
kind of pick. You know, it's so hard to trim those.
well,
thi-
like
this was
the
on-
Chrono series, it's not going anywhere. They're not gonna have a new one, so you do have a lot of time.
So this is on PlayStation 2, Xbox, PC, and GameCube.
Nice.
Yeah,
What's
Chrono
the,
Cross is better.
What's the scores on there?
The
Go up.
scores. Oh, 67 on Metacritic.
Okay. Swim.
I think you will
Just
be
almost
more
swimming.
pleased with the time you put into Chrono Cross.
Which one's better, this game or the one with Raziel, the guy who always wears a bandana
Legacy
over
of
it?
Kain.
Legacy of
you mean?
Kain.
Yeah.
dude.
Legacy of Kain absolutely dominates.
Legacy of Kain.
Legacy
Cool.
of Kain is
The one.
get out of here with your Skies of Arcadia and all. No, Legacy of Kain.
Legacy of
Wow.
Kain.
Legacy of Kain. Just in terms of bringing a series back, remastering something, having something be on Switch.
That's
or
very
something.
interesting for me.
I love Skies of Arcadia.
Because, I was looking at Dreamcast games, obviously, and I think that's the best version of Legacy of Kain.
Dreamcast.
Yeah. I think
that's where I
it'd
played
be
it.
so fun to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great series, epic, so epic for its time.
That just slotted into my backlog.
Nice.
Batman Arkham Knight.
Kidding me, dude? All day, 100%. Nightfall ending. Moving on.
Uh-oh, wait. Jones?
Yeah,
You
might
win
have
it?
to win that one. Yeah,
Oh, okay, cool.
yeah.
You know what's cool? The hot air balloon section. That's just a cool game at some points.
That game is very cool.
Yeah.
That game is definitely on a different
it.
was made in a different generation than the previous Arkham games.
Yeah.
No question.
God, the
You
combat.
can dislike parts of that, but
Yep.
there's no question.
There
that
is
they,
no denying that the
they pulled
combat.
out maybe not all of the stops, but several.
The combat in Arkham Knight.
I love it. I love
Easily the
everything about
best
that.
of the series.
Yeah, the predictable parts of
It's
the
the
story.
same.
I was like,
Combat's the same.
There's
Cool.
more. There's more.
It could be like add on to it. It's all the same.
Dude, there's so many more tools and things. There's so many people bringing things in that you need to
that
hard
makes
counter.
me so mad. That makes me so mad when that
I
happens.
eat
didn't
it
they
up.
add
I eat
in
it up.
the drop straight into so I can be gliding to a rooftop and then jump right in through the rooftop and then go right into combat?
The Predator takedowns.
That was a
dude.
fun addition,
So
yeah.
sick.
And I love that
Arkham Knight.
Batmobile unapologetically.
A lot of torture. I felt like I was torturing men a lot. As
Rated
Batman.
M, the only
Yeah.
one. Rated M. Arkham
They're
Knight.
like, I'll tell you. He's breaking their finger. I'm
Yep.
gonna make sure you tell me.
Yeah,
It's like,
dude.
he's over there, and then Batman's snapping it more. Just I want to hurt you.
Because it's not just a night out, dude. It's legit Batman going to war. It's a war.
Okay.
Yeah. Escalation.
Dude, it's good.
You're selling it. All right, last game. BioShock 2.
Skip that.
Dude, I appreciate the little things in video games. Using a drill as a big daddy, just it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Here's the thing: we've not trimmed a lot.
I know.
We've trimmed
No, I'm
Sinking
t-
City, Final Fantasy 14. Sorry, Final Fantasy 14.
Hey, that's a big trim.
Yeah, Prey we trimmed.
Okay.
Dragon Ball Fighters we trimmed.
We trimmed 4.
Blood Omen we trimmed. Okay.
5.
You know what? I'll allow you BioShock 2.
We've trimmed.
I'll let you have it.
And I'm sure probably they're referring to the newly PS Plus remaster.
For the record, I'm
version.
also fine trimming this one.
But isn't this one better than the first one? I hear praise for BioShock 2 from time to time.
You know, I
course.
feel like it's all cycles, man. Nobody's talking about BioShock 2 right now. So then you got people that are like, it's actually the best one. But then that gets popular, and then people are like, well, actually, Infinite's the best one because no one's talking about that one.
I get you.
You never know.
It's all BioShock, man.
It's all BioShock, man.
Okay. All right, Jordan. Good luck with that backlog. Hi, allies. My friend wanted to know a good dance club to check out for video game characters like himself, and I said, hey, I know the best one in LA. He said, sweet, what's the name of it? I don't know what to tell him. Let him respect Cameron. This has not been asked on the podcast to this point.
Right.
Sweat Points is the name of the club.
But we don't have
this.
this. We don't have the sign, and we don't really talk about. That's the kind of thing with clubs is you don't really talk about. You know, you kind of have to like. It's more of like a facial expression thing. How I know where you're going, what club you're going to.
Yeah.
And you just kind of, that's the trick. Like you
You're
never,
right. I see it called
you don't
SP.
you don't say it out loud because then people hear you and then they talk about it, then they get on Twitter. And so by the time you got to the club, everybody knows like Bowser's showing up. And then like, we got to deal with, Bowser hates that man when there's a crowd waiting for him.
And it's presumed.
Yeah.
If Bowser's going out, you know which club he's going to.
Right.
Yeah.
Is Mario
No.
there? Are they ever there on the same night?
Mario's not a. I mean, nobody's propositioned Mario. I assume I would not ever bring him because there's no way Mario is getting into SP.
Can you imagine Bowser going to the club and everyone like, hey, Bowser! Mario's just across the street, just like.
I can't imagine that. Yes.
Yeah. Mario doesn't want indoor. What is Mario going to do in our dance club?
I'm surprised you brought up the
Mario
club
dances.
in terms as a bit on the podcast because there's a
Kidding
lot of things I've learned since we've managed that club that we can't talk about.
Mario
on the
dances
podcast.
so much.
Relationship wise and stuff, it's like
Oh, you see things.
when people really start to dig into the meta of like the lore, timeline wise, like behind franchises, all those questions, it's like they have answers you don't want to learn.
Yeah.
But it's a fun biz. Once they actually get down to the business of gaming, it's fun. But once you get sweaty,
It's a good side thing.
yeah.
Financial Alliance.
Capital Alliance.
Capital,
I'm not forgetting that one, dude. That one is greasy. That is grease right there.
I do remember that Mario like dances, but the thing is, I never believe him. He seems trained. He seems like he took a lot of dancing lessons, and he smiles.
What's wrong with
Yeah.
that?
I don't believe the dance.
He trained. What's wrong with training?
No, because to dance, half of it has to be your emotions.
Yeah.
And I don't
There's a
ever
lot
see
of
that.
flips and
Yeah.
Fair. It's fair. It's fair criticism.
It's like you are not happy. Okay. Hey, allies. I recently bought my first game on the Epic Game Store. But it's not the first game I own on the service. For over a year, Epic Games has been giving away free games every week. The first game they gave away was Subnautica, a game I'd never played before. I thought, hey, why not just grab a free game? There's no harm to me. More than a year later, I have a library of over 60 games.
Wow.
That I haven't spent a cent on.
yeah.
That is until recently. I used to think Epic is stealing exclusivity on games. I don't want to give them any money. But now that I have such a large library of games, the concept of buying one game to add to it doesn't seem too strange to me. Allies, is this exactly what Epic Games was thinking from the start? Yes. What do you think of a service that costs no money and lets you claim a new game every week? Are they just doing this to gain and sell information about me? Admiration and adoration. Roaming Eric, Boston, Massachusetts.
I don't know, but I love it. Ignorance is bliss. There, I said it. It's not surprising coming from me, but I actually haven't talked about the Epic Game Store that much. I was thinking about putting it on my list during GOTYs to literally be like, dude, wrapping up 2019, shout out to the Epic Game Store. Because my library is dense, and I haven't spent
So you've been down-
$1.
You've been doing these
I haven't
too?
given them any money.
But you've been looking
I
at
have
the
not
free
missed a
games?
solitary game since they've been doing that. During Christmas when they had all of those things, they were like, new game a day. Like I had that moment every day on my vacation where I was just like, oh, free game. And like go to my desk and like, oh, what is it? Jotun? Cool.
Nice.
So on a game I already own on my PS4, why not? Let me just get it. They hit. The funny thing is I haven't downloaded any of them. The only game I have downloaded through Epic Game Store is Magic Arena. The only game I've actually played, I think I downloaded Fortnite because I think it just auto does that. But like Magic Arena to get ready for our tournament. But they hit me, man. Do you know what's free right now? I was like, oh, and I bet it looks so good on PC.
Sure.
And I started it and never finished it. Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Oh my
What a
God, I love
dope
Syndicate.
Free
Which
It's
one
in my
is
top
Syndicate?
3. London.
Syndicate's London.
God, I love it.
I was like,
Oh,
what
I
a
love it, Syndicate.
killer Assassin's Creed to play on PC.
Yeah.
That I'm just primed. I never finished it, and I'm
Dive in, Jones.
I didn't download it.
Dive in, baby.
I almost
We'll
did
talk
that.
about it.
Yeah, click
Because
down
like
on that.
Dive
Dreams is out,
in.
and like Animal Crossing is like 3 weeks away.
Dude,
there was just so many reasons. I'm like, it's probably not a good idea to get obsessed with that.
Yeah.
But
It's a shorter
it's so cool.
one.
Arkham Knight, free, the whole trilogy. All three of the Rocksteady games just sitting there on my
That's
account.
Wild.
I did not know you were doing this.
So
And
do you have
also-
to be a member?
It's so cool.
Can he just play these whenever? 5 years from now, he comes back and those he owns them.
It's like
Yeah,
PS Plus.
no
It's just-
monthly fee. No
yeah,
monthly
but
fee.
but unlike PS Plus, yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
paying anything. I just signed up. So again, I'm sure like people could be like, have you seen the list of all the things that we know that are sketchy about how? Yeah, I get. I'm just, and it's another reason why I don't say it, because it also factors into. A lot of people talk about like possibly stealing identities, or the nature of transparency, and a privacy issue is like magic word that I'm looking for.
Sure.
I don't care as much about those things. That's just me. I don't want anyone else to think that way or be influenced by that at all.
I get what you're
Just
saying.
Brandon Jones right now, February 2020. Doesn't bother me that much. I
think
think
that's
I'm
fair.
winning more than I'm losing, even if a lot of that super nefarious stuff is going on, because
Take my
playing a
info.
free game goes a long way for me.
I do. I like that acknowledgement, Jones, that it is a personal thing.
Yeah, no,
Right?
totally.
Exactly. It's you care as much as you care.
Yep.
And yeah, that is the line that everyone
And I'm
has
only
to draw.
bringing it up because it is actually a question that,
Yeah.
when you said Epic Game Store, I was like, oh, this is actually a take
I had no
that
idea.
I've had hiding in a pocket that I'm
Yeah.
just like, is this worth anything to anybody? Because I'm stoked that I have these free games, but if I told this to somebody and they were like, Epic Game Store, I'd be like, I won't say another word. If it really incenses you, then totally. Like you've probably done more research than me, and if that's where your standards are, then rock those standards. But I am stoked to have just crazy free games I've never heard of.
How big is your library? Epic Game Store. Fortnite. That's
and,
it.
Shenmue 3 PC demo.
Oh. Why aren't you downloading free games?
I own a lot of them already, I guess, like Batman and stuff. It just,
Yeah.
I own the games I want to play. You know what I mean? So like PS Plus and all this, it's like, oh, I already played that.
Huber, I get this
already did that.
so much. I actually get this. It's like I don't even.
Like I'm looking forward, Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward on games. They're just coming at me. Like PS Plus and stuff. It's never really. I never even take advantage of it because it's always like couple-year-old games.
And I think Jones, the amount bothers me. I don't want to have 60
too
games
many.
anywhere. I don't want to have 100 games. I don't want to have 300 games.
I like having as minimal like any things on my bar, or at least like my queue. I don't want that to get unwieldy.
Yeah.
I like to tone it down. I have a game installed and download it if I'm playing it. Like that's it.
You know what's funny? And,
Freaks me out.
Give me more. I want it all.
and I think even just like paying for a season of Better Call Saul, $25. I'm happy to do that.
Oh,
I'm happy to do that.
Well, that's another thing which is crazy looking back at the year that was 2019 and comparing the Epic Game Store to Stadia. Because it's like,
Yeah.
I see these emails and updates that they're like, these 4 new games came to Stadia. And I'm like, I don't care. That does not sell Stadia in any way whatsoever.
Yeah.
My Stadia mental stock has not gone up at all. Whereas like, oh, here's this free game for a thing I didn't buy for a service that wasn't, even despite all the negativity when it first launched, I was like, oh, okay, sign up. And then just didn't do anything with it. And then like once I really started to hear like, oh, wait, I missed, that game was free last month and I missed it. Damn, okay, I won't miss the next one. And then just got addicted to it, man. Just like, what silly game I've never heard of and probably will never play can I just throw on that list?
I do add.
That gives me so much anxiety.
Yeah, it's
It
so
does.
fun.
You know what
It's
I-
fun to see both sides of it.
Yeah.
You know what I do like about the PlayStation Plus, Kyle, is just adding it to the library. They added that feature a couple years back.
So you don't download
You don't
it.
have to download it. You can just add it to your library. And it's like, all right, you own it now. It's just a quick click that I appreciate.
Man, it feels
Oh,
so
yeah.
weird. It feels so weird to like buy it, own a thing.
It's weird.
Well, have a rights to things that you'll never actually touch or appreciate.
It's funny though that it's Epic because do you think they just looked at Fortnite and are like, let's do this? Fortnite is a free-to-play game, but it makes billions.
Oh.
As long as you're in, give them one thing, and then it's like now.
Yeah, to the
Give
last
us all
part of
your
the
money.
question, I don't think that they are selling the information. I don't think that's why they're in the business. I think they're in the business to
keep you engaged and just keep you engaging with their stuff.
They did what they had to do to get customers in
The door, and now they're shutting. Oh, you're inside now. Okay, we'll shut the door behind you, please.
Because again, I see the effort that Epic is making to secure these gigantic titles. That seems like so much more energy than Google is making with Stadia.
Yeah,
it's like, wow, they wanted this so bad,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of the other thing. Is it? I see that receipt in the store for $0. It cracks me up. You know, just seeing how much Epic's like, you know, they really want to be like, we are a big deal all the time, every day of the year. We're so big. Oh my God, how big are we? You know, and it's just like, look at them go.
Actually,
like, look at the desperation of just we got to stay on top, got to stay on top.
That is, Jones, that makes the Stadia comparison more fair to me, is the idea of Google not working hard enough, not spending enough. It is crazy that Google is spending less money than Epic is. And you're right.
The way hindsight now, it's like Google came in just like, oh, we're Google. This will all work out in the end. Like that's how it really went.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought Sexy Google was going to be like, hey, all those games you love are exclusive to our platform. I thought they'd be buying. I thought they'd be spending.
I thought Stadia would be so big and much better.
Yeah. No.
Whew, dead wrong about that.
Just let the money talk.
I can't wait for the weeks when we finally get to talk about their exclusive games. The Google Studios games. I'm pumped for that week. Because we're going to be so mean to that poor game. We'll give it a shot. We're going to give it a fair shake. I'll give that game a fair shake. This last one is one of my favorites to do for love and respects. I love just... There's so many pockets in this gaming community.
Yeah.
And just some interesting things pop up in places I would never be looking.
Where are you at, Mr. Pocket?
Is that the Rocketeer?
No. How soon you forget. That came out last year, man.
Mr. Pocket.
That's a Netflix exclusive.
Irishman.
Directed by the Coen brothers.
Oh, Buster Scruggs.
Where you at, Mr.
Yeah,
Pocket?
yeah.
You doing Buster Scruggs references?
Fairly recent.
That is next
Came out within the
level.
last 12 months, man. I thought
I'm
it was...
impressed.
That is next level.
To me, that's way more next level than a 90s thing.
That's
awesome.
That's a 10 out of 10.
That's pretty great.
That was excellent.
This comes from Master Pants. Want to hear about a new, really scummy microtransaction? In the latest patch for Dead or Alive 6, hair color options were added exclusively to the PlayStation 4 version. In order to change your hair color, it costs one ticket, which can be purchased for real-life money equivalent to around $1 US dollars. That lets you change one character's hair color one time. If you want to pick a different color, that will cost you another ticket.
I wonder if you can't even see the colors on your character, you know,
You
until
can't.
you
Have
buy
to
it.
commit.
After you change to a new
It's an
color,
item in the store. It's not even in the menu. It doesn't show up in the actual character customization menu until you purchase it from the store.
Jones, I honestly think that's what this is.
You don't even see a red head of hair in the store. It's literally just the color red.
red. After you change to a new color, you will no longer have access to your old color and will need to spend another ticket if you want to go back to it.
Oh, that's bad.
If you want
now
to go
it- now
back,
it crossed the line?
That crossed the line. Yeah.
this,
Now we're past it.
if you want to go back to the default hair color, it will cost you 10,000 in-game currency, which isn't that big of a deal, but it's still odd. 10,000 seems like a lot to me. By the way, if you do go back to the default hair color, you will lose access to the last color you spent a ticket on. PC and Xbox One version owners might have been mad at first about the exclusivity, but maybe not as much after hearing how it works. Holy moly.
What game? I
What
completely
the
forgot.
hell?
Dead or Alive 6. The very sexy fighting game.
Like
Yeah.
it just says nothing to me but let's squeeze the player. It's so malicious.
Yeah.
Like there's
It is malicious.
But it's not going to hurt the brand. This is not something that... That's the difference.
Yep.
That's the difference between
He's
Dead or Alive
right.
and Mortal Kombat.
shouldn't have said that.
You know?
You're right, Joe.
Dead or Alive pulls a stunt like this, and it fits in a weird way. Whereas Mortal Kombat starts to do the dance, and you not only get frustrated at this game, it's you worry about the future. Whereas you don't hear this and be like, where is Dead or Alive gone? You know, like, and this doesn't mean Dead or Alive is bad. This just means like Dead or Alive is a game about fashionable characters in fashionable locations spending a lot of money. So it's just
You
looking
know-
like they spend a lot of money, at least.
You know, though, this brings up another interesting point for me.
Okay.
Because my whole life, I've said cosmetic microtransactions don't bother me.
Yeah, you have said that.
Cosmetics. I mean, this is purely cosmetic. So it is on you. But you cannot deny that it is very malicious. But still, cosmetic stuff is
It's not breaking the game.
on you. Yeah.
But I enjoy these stories like I enjoy like a good documentary on Netflix about some stockbroker that just got taken down,
Yeah.
you know, or it's just something, you know, just like, you know, like murder, you know, real life murder dramas where you're just like, oh, by episode 4, you're like, the plot thickens,
Yeah.
you know, just hearing absolutely you can't go back. It's,
yeah,
you know what
not
this
going
is?
back because then you can't just buy them all and own them.
It's
No,
so
you can't.
bizarre.
One hair color at a time.
That's so weird.
This is Glennie's Cauldron, man. This
Yeah.
is
That is such a Glenny thing. We couldn't even think of something that sinister. And I love, on top of all of this, that it is exclusive to the PS4 platform. Like, who brokered that
Yeah,
deal?
what the hell?
When that deal was brokered, did they know what they were shaking their hands for?
I imagine there's like evil villain, like in the evil villain lair, and like the Igor comes in and he's just like, have they mentioned it on any podcast? And like, just easy allies, master. And, like, everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
It will not hurt the brand.
Yeah.
But our revenue has increased.
I'm sure people are buying the different hair colors.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yep.
it's happening.
It's like dark and light with the Jedi and the Sith, you know what I mean? Like the Jedi or the dopamine. We think about leveling up, we think about you get those little gifts in games, you know, you get a new weapon in Breath of the Wild. Like those moments are so inspiring and so great, you meet a new character. It's the opposite direction, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's more powerful.
It is more powerful.
That's the sad, scary truth. That's why Star Wars is so good.
Yeah.
Because you got to sacrifice a lot if you go the good path.
The
light
easier
side.
path is more powerful, yeah.
But hey, I love a good comic about the Sith every now and then. Love a good Sith-oriented love and respect comic.
Heck yeah. It's time for bets. Next week's bet, One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows, will be released on Friday, February 28th.
Punch.
Thank you. How do they not keep that in the new song? How do they do a whole new song and just make it worse?
You know, a lot of things went down with the last season, different
Fair.
studios.
Wasn't
you
the biggest
know.
part. It wasn't the big issue.
Yeah.
One of the only negatives I could ever say about JoJo is when I got to the new, like, not season, but the new, like, arc of JoJo, and they changed the opening theme. I was like,
Yeah.
Dare you?
what are you doing?
Yeah.
That was everything. And then I'm like, oh, I get it. No, it wasn't. You're right. It's a new JoJo. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Naruto, man. You're going to watch,
I know,
you know,
so many.
18 different openings.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm going to look at the top 10 most recent reviews on opencritic.com. How many times will I see the word anime? Because we're talking about One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows. Brandon Jones.
9.
Michael Huber.
15.
Damn it. 15.
Damn it.
I can't believe we both landed on 15.
2-1 bets, though. It's not often we get more bets.
This is a
But
first.
that's what happened.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. That's big because if I said 14, we would have been hosed.
Jones,
now there's hope.
I
14
know
on the
there's
money.
somebody saying anime. There's going to be one
Yes.
review with 4 animes.
Right.
But unlike the anime,
But I think I
In
think
this
I think
anime,
show works. I think
it's
just
gonna
the
be-
title of it works.
you know, now that I'm thinking about it more, it's going to be like 30.
Yeah.
I think something like some of the earliest Naruto games that really looked like the show, you know, where you're like, wow, that's when you say it looks just like the anime. Where it's like, doesn't, you label it, we know. The anime fans know. Everybody knows.
Would
I don't
you?
know if you necessarily need to
Yo,
say.
top 10 selling points for a video game.
We'll see.
Anime cutscenes.
Back in the day. You saying right now?
Even now.
In 2020, anime
2020
cutscenes?
anime cutscenes. Where do you rank them now?
What?
Low now. I mean,
Low now?
like 9.
But it's on the list.
Oh, it's on the list.
Okay,
I love
cool.
anime cutscenes.
Good.
But if I'm playing a PS1 game with anime cutscenes,
That's the number one selling
Yes,
point.
it's-
Absolutely.
top 3.
Absolutely.
Last week's bet was about Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection, which released Tuesday, February 25th. How many beam swords would be visible on the back of the box? Damiani bet that there would be 2. Daniel Bloodworth bet 6. Brad bet 3. Jones, you bet 3.
Yeah.
The actual number of beam swords on the back of the box for Mega Man Zero /ZX Collection. What do you think? Huber.
I know the answer.
7.
Zero.
Zero. None.
How do you not
I've seen that, yeah.
flaunt that?
I know.
I see Zero holding 2 handguns, and a bunch of screenshots with nary a single beam sword.
What?
Yes.
It's an iconic video game arsenal.
But that means it's a good bet.
It is.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yep.
Damiani wins that bet with his bet of 2.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
That away, Damiani.
I guess there's something appropriate too, like Zero. The game's about Zero.
Sure, Damiani.
Context.
Damiani, always wins. And before we get to our total scores, we got a point correction from last week.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And Jones, do you know what I miffed about this? Because you read everything.
You can be miffed. I'm
Are you
so
miffed or
flustered
biffed?
when I'm in that chair that
I'm miffed, straight miffed. You
I
read.
should have done it, but you told me what to
I
do.
put a lot of
and I
notes
didn't.
that are very personal, and you read those word for word.
Yeah.
And then for the bet,
Yeah.
I say use the PlayStation app for this. Mm-hmm. And then he goes to pstrophies.com or
Ouch,
something.
rookie move.
Rookie move.
I realized like during the podcast, I was like, oh, I didn't look that up beforehand.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the last week's bet about the trophy percentage for 3.
Mastering the classes. Master 3.
Oh my
master
god, I was
classes.
on this. I want to know this, dude. This was eating me up. I'm very intrigued by this bet.
You won the bet. It was 1%.
Boom. I felt good about it, man. That's why. I was like,
Yeah.
I feel really good
So
about
he won
that.
the bet,
Yeah.
and he's the only. He would technically be in that chair because it's either chair, really.
Oh, yeah. So that brings our totals to Gorgeous Gorillas 4. Ooh. That is a gorgeous gorilla. If you
I
close your
wanted the
eyes,
strut. I wanted
Yeah,
the strut.
yeah.
I panicked. I was going to do a whole big strut, Jones.
It's like Google Stadia showing up.
Yeah.
Sick Owls 3. Okay, all right. Okay.
Oh my god.
Put that owl out of his misery.
Let me tell you about patreon.com/easyallies. That would be the website you'd want to go to if you want to learn more about the Easy Allies. If you're interested in supporting us, that is also the place where that happens. Patrons who give us $5 or more a month get this podcast 2 days early. They get to see it on Fridays and listen to it on Fridays as opposed to Sundays. Jones, before we hand off the podcast to Michael Huber, I think we have something.
I do.
A little list.
Yeah.
Okay.
People I love so much. Shout out to Elphanis, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Caleb Togi Crawford, Will Schmuck, and Mr. One Luigi.
Shout out.
You know what? We should each do 2. Because it's just 3. I didn't really feel the wave. So we're going to do 2 laps.
You're going to go back?
Yeah.
like
No,
back
we're going
to-
to do
back
2
to-
laps.
wave.
2 laps.
Oh, 6 then.
Cool.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
Shout out. Shout out.
This is the dumbest show.
So you do that at the end. You do that stuff at the end.
Yeah, I do. I save that for the end.
If you stick around for the last 10 minutes of any
Your
podcast,
family.
it's all
If you're here-
it's all unraveling.
Your family. All right, Michael Huber.
Is it Quiznos or
Yeah, it's
family?
if you're here, your family is Quiznos.
isn't it?
I think it's Olive Garden.
Oh shit! It is. It is.
Unfortunately, that was your final word, so you've already used that up.
Huber, you get the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world. You get to promote any Easy Allies video you would like to promote. You get the final word, anything you disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped in your head. And you get to sign off with your trademark sign off.
I'm at Michael P. Huber. The video I would like to promote is Baldur's Gate 3 preview because Benjamin Moore is the best in the biz, and anytime you can see a preview or review from the guy, you should do it. This preview is amazing. Ben Moore loves this franchise. This is good.
You've not seen this preview.
No.
You just locked in. It's
Lock
a lock.
it in. Lock
it's a
it
lock.
100%.
Sure.
You lock this.
I'm on it and cut it, and it's
Yeah.
excellent.
Yes.
Nice.
No gameplay, unfortunately, because they didn't give us any. You can still go check it, but lots of screenshots.
Nice.
Lots of nice screenshots.
Ben Moore, dude. Shout out.
Cool. new trailer.
And then what? Final word.
Final word.
Final word, dude. Brandon Jones, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Good shit, man. I know you were also saying you were playing Final Fantasy 12, just real on the side.
Yeah.
Play one of those games. I want to talk to you about them.
Cool.
And your trademark sign off.
Oh. We will see you.
No, hold on, pause.
What?
Your trademark sign
I don't have a trademark.
He
There's
makes it up every
no-
time.
I
you
make
know?
it up every time. That's the trademark.
There's no in a trademark sign off.
I say and a lot.
Here's what I ask.
Okay.
That could be the sign.
Think of the trademark sign off right now.
Okay.
And then deliver it.
Okay.
Okay.
Easy allies, love and respect. Yeah. Google came in just like, oh, we're Google. This will all work out in the end. Like that's how it really went.
Yeah.
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 The Easy Allies would like to thank our Patreon podcast producers. We apologize in advance for all the ally names we are about to misspell and mispronounce. Will Schmuck, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Caleb Togi Crawford, L. Thanis, Mr. 1 Luigi, Walker Hope, Nick, Mark Dalga, Bradley Spees, Jay Shee, Paulo Costabel, Jake Musser, Richard G. Flowers, Dave Red, Zachary Wingate, Jan Tyson, Dan Sebring, Andrew Reif, Rob Bob Will, Sigma, Tim O'Keefe, Ethan R.C., Mick Roper, Robert Stoffel, Alex A.I., Corey Jackson, Hayden Hargraves, Valmar, Damnable Nook, Ali Cat, Happy Gaming, Blue Water Blue Sky, Daniel Portillo, Chum Nguyen, Beaten Down Brian, Miguel Rivas, Discarded Digit, Jose Gutierrez, Thomas Wigginton Jr., Neil Bruce, Matthew Pauling, G. Levin, David Wen, G. Ken, Gary James, The Banana Forklift Killer, Brad Lohman, Marcel Markov, Catherine Lai, Todd Yurkovic, Stephen Last, Candy Coated Thorns, Hitman 47, Kelvin Hartanto, Rack, DRD 7 of 14, Matthew Holcomb, Joe Burns, Oni Blackmage, Joachim Morovuo, John Santoro, Niz Klojgard, Jesper Lawson, Jordan Kirk, Yasser Kerbushi, James Vitt, Sam Handrick, Stephen Thomason, Robert Crouch, Luke Bennett, Andy Drew, Neuromod, John Burns, Rickster EXE, Brad Grenz, S-Snake24, Jesse Blue, Roy Sung, Mango, Richard Johnston, Blue, Michael Yao, Mark J. Betters II, Steve Fallon. Accounts payable, Mikhail Aniel, Wavering Radiant, Jeffrey Ruchtenwald, Ritz 1906, Noah Weinstein, V8 Dave, Christian Hundorf, Eric Gustafson, Paul Sway, Isun Chor, Christopher Santis, Strikeout NZ, Sandra and Richard Acero, David Boyarski, Faraz Rizvi, Gali Gutierrez, Adam Henry, Travis Ing, Pete Shoemaker, Reed Johnson, Manuel Thomas, Michelle Nubb, Mikey Mizek Novak, Kim Monk Vonderlieth Hagensen Petersen, Sun Pham, Mons Anderson, Alex Monaco, Paul Bishop, Modrin, Zintrax, Kurzes Stavrogowski, Marco Hernandez, Daniel Wong, Zoostic, V. Kira Ray, Don Turner, Sebastian Urban, Eddie Reisner, Sebastian Trier, Adam Scherenbrock, Evan Eng, Raymond Chow, Adam, Azazel Valkyrie, Junya Motomura, Ivan Ponce, Tuttle, Bjarnar Haraldsvik, Extravaganza, Joshua Vanswall, Stephen Walther, Tense George, Colin Hoylman, Barry, Cyberboa, Forrest, Eric Maynard, Chase Caldwell, Momo Rashid, Remy Loisel, Caffeine Rage, Rahiv Maharaj, Leon Keys, Chris the Pianist, Rerun, Ian Anderson, Philip Higdon, Furious Action Gamer, Nycrypt, Jai Aldiar, Robert I, Ivan Skogheim, C.S. Lewis, Ahmed Al-Rashed, Bonnie and Jason Connor, Jock, Travis Miosi, Mike Calvi, Alex Glass, The Fatty Show, Neo Bear, DanPan16, Wouter DeHaze, Malcolm Mochette, William Heaney, Not Jack, Mither Strongbeard, Jana, Repus Edud, Anthony Galvin, Shanley Ladia, Ahab, Clay Roberts, Palkin Stirs and Stirs, Ora Cachino, Dakota Hayes, Caleb Ledoux, The Classiest Tobo, Masuki 211, Matt Karwoski, Liam Ahern, Jason Joint, Bunny Chen, Pete Cerny, Christopher A. Butler, Jason Shields, David Kennedy, Materia Addict, Diggles, Fabian Winkler, Arthur Henrique Chinaglia, Culinary Stud, Nuno Amaral, Magnus Rasmussen, Joel Olson, Edison S. Prada Jr., Tim Mann, Sean Rowe, Haley Hill, Jake Potter, Crediar, Mauricio Fuentes, Jesse Fish, Thorfkin, Gabriel Aberg, Chad McIntosh, Zahid Hosseini Karami, Luis Ibarra, Lee Young, Alexander Zirianov, Morpheus, Ryan Foster, DeLisi, Sean Cornett, BM5, Santiago Carrillo, Linson Wu, General Piet, Zio VGM, Matthew Migler, Andrew Smith, Andrew Stoke, Brandon White, Christoph Fatui, Zach Kaczynski, Chris LaRue, A Pack of Puppies, Michael Clendenan, Wenbo Shan, Hadi Ali, Aurelien Grenier, Trevor Thomas, Will Arrowwood, Michael Kozachenko, Awesome Express, Adam Lindsay, Corey Landega, Pablo Rodriguez, Timo Yeager, Nergal131, Alec Church, Ibrahim Sozer, Feber Gundam, Mike Hook 1, Carl Williams, Gustav Strombone, Volker Bach, Russell Bateman, Lindsay Wells, Jason I, Christoph Packlinger, Rickard Enbaum, James Vest, Nefertiti Jenkins, Tyler Wallace, Joe Rutsky, Kyle Quintero, Jesse Vitelli, Jonathan and Amy Alconis, Quinn Riley, JC3, Jack Cullen, Logan Young, Vishal Singh, Paul Nolson, Isaac Swanson, Jameson Lapine, Max His Shame Turman, Jethrin, Bread Roll Art, Matt Ford, Joey Din, Splontot, Jordan Phillips, Ryan Wagner, Matthias Clare, Spencer Stevens, Vilar, Jeffrey Murillo, Kevin Camposano, Trizac, Matt Ferguson, Jake in Japan, Sam Sorensen, Vincent Foliat, Aaron Kirk, Madman Kevin, Michael Baloney, Michael Pliskin, Andy Marks, Tim Strothman, XWF Outlaw, Julius Garcia, Alex Lavanier, Gon Kef, Joel Short, Dimitri Zetas, Ulf himself, Mazrim Tame, Ganzag009, David, Helen Y, Jameson Anderson, Daniel Fuchs, David Halverson, Travis Gakowski, J. Kim 7VK, Megadet, Bard 91, Sneaky Gato, William Haman, Blake Bonsack, W. Crusher, Lion Crown 19, Tom Masterman, Jojo Denko, ZK, Mac Reed, Jose Carlos Madrigal, Mr. Anarchy, Thomas Blaze Fauchereau, Andreas Risberg, Krister Lundmark, Anti-Ataraxia, Dreams of Caffeine, Michael Bisegli, Natabia Ross, Matthew Holmes, Alexander McEachern, Silent Consonant, Rob Middledorp, Raymond Lee, Allison Burt, Trenton Robison, Lars Berger, Marcel Giru 17 Froelich, Donley, Matthew Erden, Tetsujin, Erdnay Kutnow, Cabbage 92, Megan McDonough, Rainier Dennis Bautista, Tristan Howard, Nathaniel Austin.